overthinking every little step that you would ever take. As we grew older, you couldn't stop tying yourself into way too many knots. Just relax and feel the flow. It's time for you to let it all go. Catch the waves as they're rolling in. Reach up higher and go follow the sun. Let the breeze come and drift away. Can you feel the fire as you follow the sun? Settle down, just take a breath, and your worried thoughts will slowly fade away. Live in the moment, don't look back. Allow your heart to run free and you'll stay on track. Just relax and feel the flow. It's time for you to let it all go. Catch the waves as they're rolling in. Reach up higher and go follow the sun. Let the breeze come and drift away. Can you feel the fire as you follow the sun? Just relax and feel the flow. It's time for you to let it all go. Catch the waves as they're rolling in. Reach up higher and go follow the sun. Let the breeze come and drift away. Can you feel the fire as you follow the sun? Catch the waves as they're rolling in. Reach up higher and go follow the sun. Let the breeze come and drift away. Can you feel the fire as you follow the sun?
Hey friends, good morning, good morning, good morning. That's how my mom used to always say good morning. She'd say, good morning, good morning. And she'd sing us a cheesy song, but I don't know what made me think of that. Hey, Slim Skittles, how are you? Hey, Laura. Nice to see you here. Grandma Sherry. How are you, Grandma Sherry? You doing good this week? Hey, Electro. Electro reminds me of something because I went back and I want to say it here on my own channel that I am sorry for Cam thought I was yelling at him on Heels stream yesterday, which by the way, Heels did her first live stream. She did an amazing job. So proud of her. She did so good. I'm excited that she's doing lives now. I hope she keeps doing them because she was really, really good at it. But I would, and he's like, don't yell at me. And I was like, what? I don't yell. And so I went back and listened to it. Oh my gosh, it did sound like I was yelling. It totally sounded like I was yelling. What had happened was right before that conversation, I had just switched my headphones. I had left my good ones on vacation. They're supposed to be mailing them, but I had just switched into these new headphones that I'm not used to yet, and I think I had the volume just way too loud because it sounded like I was screaming at him, so that was not my intention. Not my intention. Good morning, Mad Miss Hatter. How are you, love? Hey, Blank Screen. I'm going to talk about you a little bit today. You're in the conversation. Not a lot, but a little. The pride emojis are gone? Like, what? Let me check on my phone. I didn't know that. Why'd they take those away? That seems like a silly thing to take away. Now I'm looking. Well, I still have one on my phone. Are you talking about like YouTube maybe? I know. You guys were chatty in here. Good morning, Rowena. How are you? Rowena, you cracked me up. I was dying with you last night. You're so sweet. And then Been so funny. Hi, Tina Rena. Laughter a day keeps the doctor away. Good morning, Denise, by the way. But yeah, that is so true. So true. Hey, Chaos. Happy July. July 1st. Does anybody have any big 4th of July plans? Hey, Miss Nobody. Hey, Jenny D. Okay. Oh, if I'm part of your drive, I feel bad. Oh my gosh. Hey, small wildflowers, how are you? Hey, Jonesin. Girl, I'm gonna need some of your input on this. I stand with Queen and I stand with Chase. See, okay, see, some people know what's going on. Does anybody else feel completely drained from this week? This week felt like it was a month long. It felt like a month-long week to me. I don't know if anybody else felt that way. Hey, Evil Queen. Morning, Gavel. Good morning, Hazel Rose. Chemistry Queen. Good to see you. Hey, Headstones. You guys, if you're not listening to Headstones and Headlines, you're truly missing out. You gotta go check her out. Hey, Zooter. How you doing, love? Miss you. Good morning. Hazel Rose, did I say hi? Hi again, Hazel Rose. Good morning. Hey, Curious AF. Good to see you. I was a total bully, Rowena. I was, like, yelling at the man. But I love the chat because the chat was so protective. They were so cute. They're like, "She wasn't yelling at you, and she's just being assertive, and why is it wrong for a woman to be" It was so funny, but I did feel bad because it was loud. It was loud, loud, loud. Oh, sorry. I won't tell people that you were so sweet. She's adorable. I was probably going to do this a little differently today, but I was on Queens last night. I went in there. She's given me some crap yesterday for not being in her streams lately. And I'm like, girl, you're just missing me because I've been there except for the one that got deleted, but I think it's back up. But she told me she's going live, which is great because I don't get notifications. No joke. I just got 20 minutes ago, I just got the notification about her members only live that she did yesterday afternoon. Why did I just get that? Is anybody else having these struggles with notifications? It's exhausting. But so when I was in Jones's, I thought I'm gonna go to bed early last night, gonna sleep all night, and then get up and do this live stream. And then she said she was gonna go, so I went in there, checked it out, and ended up staying till 1:30 in the morning. It was crazy. So I'm like, oh, I'm a little tired. Yeah, Jones's hiding from the feds. Morning, Tracy. How's it going? You've had a busy week, love. Oh, yeah, fireworks. If you can't stay or if you can't be around the fireworks, that would be oh, I love fireworks. Morning, Fizzle. Girl, you've been the talk of the town this week. Tammy Lynn, how are you? The good Allison. Man, everybody's here. Mad Miss Hatter. Okay, y'all are neighborhood party. Ooh, I have a party later this afternoon. We talk a lot about Little Red. She came home earlier this week. Um, saw her already, but they're having a party like her, welcome home party. So excited to go do that. Let me do it. A typical creator who mumbles already drained me. Tried. Oh yeah, she did. She tried hard, didn't she? Blank screen. What I would like to know is why chasing gives TM any of her time. Just ignore her. She's a tool. Hmm. That's a good question. I'm not saying she's a tool, but why do we give people our time and our attention when they call us into things or put something on our shoulders or try to converse about a situation. Why do we give those people our time and our attention? That's a valid question. You're gonna need a whole pot, girlfriend, a whole pot. But try not to hit anybody, okay? Try not to have any accidents while you go get that coffee. Hey, Pixie. Hey, Tammy Lynn. Yeah, it's been super long. I'm still okay. Mm, I was gonna talk about that. I still do want to talk about that, but I think that it's probably best unless Chasing or others want to hop up here and share their story. I I feel like we need 60,000 whiteboards to try to figure this out. Truly. It has become such a conundrum, such a mixture of this is the truth. No, this is the truth. No, this is the truth. It's when I was asked about it last night, I was dead honest when Nunya asked me, and I was like, I can't explain it. You can't explain this stuff. Okay, I just want to make sure I was pinning that. It's so much, y'all. And a lot of it, besides a couple of lives, a lot of it has been like the battle of the community posts. I mean, just back and forth on the community posts. Yeah, it's annoying. I get you. It is. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not the only one who's not getting these notifications. Yeah. I got heels. I got hers that yes, like I was so shocked because I never ever get her notifications ever. And I got that one. So I was really shocked. Oh, maybe that's what I have to do, Denise, is refresh it. She did have a good live, Grandma Sherry. Um, Even the part where she was kinda getting talked to sternly. It was good. It was good. Yes, we're very excited. Little Red's home. She's doing good. She's thriving. She's growing ounces and oh, I wish I could show her to you all. She is so cute. She's the cutest little baby until my grandbaby comes, of course, but she's the cutest little thing and her like I said, her mom's a natural redhead and it's a pretty like it's a bright red. It's like I love Lucy red, but then she, uses toners and stuff to make it a little more auburn. But little red has the cutest little red peach fuzz on her head. It's so adorable. I give time for different reasons. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I need to and listen. Maybe to calm a situation. Right. I think that's very imperative in this situation. You're trying, and I give time too because I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to understand. I've said it before, I'll say it again. A lot of times, I don't think we listen to understand people as a whole. We don't listen to understand. We're waiting to speak. Sometimes we don't even wait very long before we do that. TM had the gall to talk to Chasing on her own monetized terms, showed zero receipts, and she was late. At the very least, bring receipts of your accusations. Um, I agree with part of that, Miss You. Like, where are some of these receipts? You demand receipts of others, demand them, and then throw out things as fact. And they might be, but I'd like to see the fact besides just you saying, I know this to be a fact. Hey, yada yada. You don't understand that there's that. Rowena's like, I just consider the source. I think a lot of people have. I trust these ladies to put on their shakers and big girl panties on. Ah, that's true, Liberty. No, I'm not gonna play her. Not gonna play. Hey, Sleuthy. Oh, Sleuthy, you've been putting in some work over there, love. Love what you're doing. Love it. Yeah, that is weird, Tammy, that they come in late. Yeah. In my opinion, if Tracy Ann didn't speak, it would have never happened. I hope they move on. Also, you have to speak up for yourselves and others if you see wrong. What do you mean it wouldn't have happened, Mad Miss Hatter? Because she didn't speak first. She was called out, told to look into things, told to do, or maybe not told, maybe that's the wrong word. But you don't have to. You want your camera off, hun? Or do you want us to see your crazy coffee hair? Okay, there you go. Hey, Jake.
Did you say I have crazy coffee hair?
I said, I just saw the top of your head, so I was like, you want it off or you want us to see the coffee hair?
Oh my God, girl, I can't.
It's been a
So
lot.
much.
It's been an exhausting week, and trying to put some of this together, I think of
Mhm.
it as, I don't know, have you ever helped I know you've helped your kids through a situation, but especially your daughter's older in her early teen years, right? You've got teenage junior high girl drama happening. And so you sit down with your kid to try to understand the situation. And for me, I was always like, okay, tell me your side of things. Tell me what happened. And she would. And then I'm like, okay, now tell me their side of things and tell me how they perceived it.
Mhm.
And it gives them a moment to stop and think about, well, how did the other person take this? What were they doing? What were they thinking? And I
Right.
just think so many times we're not taking the time to look at both sides of the story.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I think there's been a lot of that this week.
All
A
right.
lot.
Morning, mind
uh,
monsters.
yeah, I don't know. I guess it all began. It all started once upon a time with me ignoring Jody Sue for a year and then not anymore.
Oh,
So
I want
things
to hit
went
this
a
real
little
quick.
crazy.
Let me say this thing real quick. Fizzle, she said to ask her if you have any questions. Um, Sometimes I ask questions that I already know the answer to. I don't know if anybody else does
Hmm.
that. Because when you put something in a question form, people respond differently. They give you
Yeah,
sometimes a better answer too. So sometimes if I'm asking a question, it can be rhetorical. It could also just be, I want to hear what you have to say about the question that I'm asking.
exactly.
So
Yep.
sometimes it's not because I don't know.
Mhm.
Rarely is it because I don't know.
I mean, I think for me, it's really, really a simple thing that was going on my end of it.
Right.
Um, but there was so much also happening on other fronts concerning basically the same people that it became a mess,
Yeah.
right? Because it may have appeared that my actions were for a specific reason when they were not. At at that point, they were not.
Yeah.
I was just defending myself against Jody Sue and her lying.
Because she's been
Uh,
doing a lot of that. She's been
she
doing a
has,
hmm
she has, and it's getting frustrating. You know, if you're just accused of being a jerk, that's one thing. Who cares? But when you're accused of things like harassing, stalking,
being in the background
doing,
of all of this mess and having a part of it.
yeah,
Those are heavy
it's
accusations.
they are, and it's a lot. And I mean, I get a ton of people aren't running there to listen to Jody Sue, but it's also for me a thing where I don't want her to think those things because they're just not accurate, just not
Mhm.
true. And she may just be doing it to get me fired up. And I guess maybe that's one thing I didn't really think was happening, but could have been, yeah. So I made a few community posts showing that she wasn't being honest. And it appeared to people, well, it appeared to a specific person, Tiffany, that I was defending other people,
What?
which was really confusing because it had nothing to do with them at all. So
That
that
brings up
began.
a moral question that I have been having a lot lately. I've talked to you about it. Are you the sum of who you hang around with, who you associate with, who you talk to? Is that truly who you are? And should you be linked to their past transgressions? Things like
That's a
that.
hard thing, you
It is.
know. I thought about it, and in having daughters, it's always a good way to look at it too.
Mhm.
Her best friend, the one down here that she has had a pretty rough reputation prior to this year, where she's settled down and become much calmer. And I was scared that my daughter would get that reputation as well. Like, oh God, this girl's wild. She does all the things. I don't want my kid to have this reputation. But she doesn't, because she stood for herself and she speaks for herself.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I understand that because I am very close to a lot of people, well, not a lot, a handful of people, people try to put me on this weird ass pedestal where I should be above all of this. I
I
should never respond to any of this. I am the whatever of credibility.
Mhm.
No, I'm just another person who likes facts. I'm into
I
facts.
I've seen people do that to you. They're constantly putting you up on a pedestal. I
Yeah,
think that they envision you in their mind as, I don't know, something bigger than that's a lot to put on a person too. And it
it
is,
is.
and I don't know how you handle that, but
It
I don't know
sucks.
where that comes from because it has to be exhausting.
It sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it isn't. I appreciate if people look at the videos I've put out as that, right? But
Right.
that's different. My work is different than who I am as a person, right? I mean, I'm just anybody else, and it shouldn't be. So, what should I do? Sit alone in a corner and never make friends with anybody? And that's kind of what it feels like, because the consistent comment that I get is they're using you for credibility.
Mhm.
Whoever it is,
It's
they're
a
using you to seem more credible because you spoke to them. Now they appear credible. And that's like, what?
Do you think
You
that
can't
that
be
statement
credible.
is to attack you personally and say, "You don't, look at you, you're choosing poor friends and
Yeah.
you need to choose better," or is it to say people are trying to use you and you're not seeing it? Like, how do
I,
you interpret that statement?
people are using me and I don't see it.
Yeah. It's kinda how I
That
interpret.
makes you feel awful,
Mhm.
you know? And I know that it's not true, but it makes you think, like, do people only want to be cool with me because they think I'm going to lend some credibility? That's
Right.
weird shit.
It is.
And it makes you feel bad. It really makes you feel bad. um, like Gray Hughes. Can I use him for credibility? Is that why I'm friends with him? No. Everybody hates Gray, and I love him to death. So
Mhm.
I know that that's not what I do with him.
Yeah.
I take more shit for being friends with Gray than anything.
You do take a lot.
But
You guys even have a whole Reddit thread dedicated to y'all.
a whole Reddit thread, yeah, we do. So
Mm.
it just sucks. And I don't I don't hang out with a lot of women, and I don't make friends with a lot of ladies in real life. Like, I'm not the one going to coffee with the neighbor moms, which they do all the time. I see them making the plans on the Facebook in the neighborhood group, and I'm never in those because I don't, it's not my deal. It's not what I do. So I have made good friends, and
Yeah,
I'm
there's
going to
that.
defend them, and I'm going to keep them because I want to. It's not because other people hate them or I'm trying to protect them or anything. I'm not. They can stand by themselves. They're strong. They're fine. They don't need me to
So
validate their existence on YouTube.
why do you think that people are putting that on your shoulders specifically? Because they've put
I
you up
don't
on
think
this,
it's
because
fair.
others have put you up on this pedestal maybe? Like, it's this one's a genuine question. Like, why do you think that they put that there?
Well, maybe because I do enjoy digging for the truth of things.
Sure. Yeah. They want you to chase that truth.
Yeah. I keep getting a phone call. I bet it's our breakfast being delivered, but who asked you to call me? Anybody? Did I say, please call me? I didn't.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't I don't hate people I don't know either, Captain Obvious. And I think people use that word in place of dislike, frustrated with, all those
Yeah.
things, maybe because
yeah.
I don't hate anyone, not on these streets.
Yeah, I think they're doing it to, I don't know. It could be twofold too, because they hate the people so much. They want me to
I
discover
think,
this
yeah.
whatever and hate them too. And, or just to aggravate. I have a very short fucking fuse. So maybe to just get fed up with it and be like, I ain't doing this anymore and being out, like, I'm not fucking doing it anymore. Goodbye. Um, I don't know.
It could be
And
either,
somebody asked
but it could
why
be
I
either, but it
give
doesn't.
Tiffany time. I'm sorry, Jennifer. I think
No,
a little
I think
delay.
I'm delayed. I'm gonna back out and come back up.
Yeah, you kind of have a little feedback, babe.
Yeah, I'm gonna back out and come back up.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I don't like what Tiffany's been doing lately.
I don't think
And
anyone has.
no, and I expressed that to her yesterday, like the
Hmm.
doxing and this is just not cool. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, she just basically said she's going to do what she wants to do, and that's the
Yeah.
end of the story. And you can't force somebody not to do it to do something. So
No, you
okay,
can't. You can't force them, but you can't also stop the train that might be coming
yeah,
because of those actions. Like, I supported a lot of things that she's done, but the
yeah,
going real life, the attacks, the sneak disses at you were a lot to begin with, and then sharing that essay story, that other woman's story, really, really, it was a lot.
yeah.
And
It's
I don't even know all the behind the scenes things that are happening either, so I can't even speak on them. But I know there are people that are speaking out about them.
yeah, and it feels like it's so damn much you can't even keep up with all the shit that's happening right now. And I hate to see people I really give a shit about being hurt. So how do you even deal with it without putting yourself in the direct line of fire? I don't know. I don't know. It's so difficult to do. You just kind of fucking roll with each day and see what new bullshit happens.
Right.
And it sucks. I hate it. I hate it. But here we are. You can't run from it. I mean, if I just turned off my, computer and didn't talk
That's
about it
not gonna
anymore, that isn't solving
mhm.
anything. No.
No. And then Mad Miss Hatter here says, maybe because you are so credible, they needed you to co-sign their BS. Um, and I think that that's
But
kind of the perception that Tiffany was trying to give to you, or I think that's kind of
mhm.
what she was saying is like they're using you to co-sign their BS, and
How can I co-sign something that happened well before my time as a friend with anybody?
that yeah,
That
exactly. How is that
doesn't make
co-signing?
sense. Yeah.
I didn't understand
Everybody.
that either. Morning,
Mm.
maybe still.
My favorite is like is hearing that I lose
Love you too.
credibility by going on to into somebody's chat or talking to somebody that other people don't like. And I think if I'm going to lose credibility because I want to make sure that everybody, whoever it is that's going to be talking about something with these cases has correct information, um, sourced information and factual information, then I guess so be it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Like, why is that? I've gotten that one a lot. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
your chat over there. You must love everything that person ever does. No, not at all. I don't even like everything I do. Like, no, I'm not co-signing everything they've ever done just because I hop in their chat or hop up on their panel. Why do people think that?
I don't know. And I'm like, and sometimes I've noticed that sometimes people that a lot of people don't like, I don't know where the scissors are. How would I know that? um, but a lot of time, not a lot of times, but sometimes the people that a lot of people don't like, occasionally like they get really good information about stuff. So just because I'm gonna like I want to know all the information so that I can look into it so I'm not missing stuff, doesn't mean that I mean, sometimes people put out good information. That's really all there is to it. And I'm not going to not have that information, even though I can verify it just because so and so put it out.
Ooh, yeah. No, that's true. And Joneson thinks that TM wants you to co-sign her BS. And it did kind of feel, I'm just being honest here, it did kind of feel like a back and forth narrative was happening of believe me, not them. Don't
Mhm.
believe what you're actually reading and seeing, believe what I'm telling you.
Yeah. I think she knows me
Yeah.
enough from seeing the St. Jude stuff to now. I mean, TM and I don't know each other on a personal level, but I don't just believe anything. I can't. It's not in me to just be like, oh, okay, because Jenny said it, I believe it, or because such and such. No, no way. Um, and if I thought anything was egregious enough to really have to confront them, I would, but it's not my fight to fight. I wasn't there for any of it. That's my biggest fucking thing over and over. But people are like, well, you know how and you're going to stand by it? No. But that doesn't also mean that it's any of your business how I handle any of it. I can handle things in private. I'm an adult. Um, if there's something that's so severe that I even need to butt my nose into, you know? To me, it doesn't feel like a lot of this was about Summer Wells, and it was more about personality conflicts, you know?
That's what I feel.
You're
feel like
exactly right. Like, why? So there was a long time where people had some issues about things that like Nerdy was doing, right? For
yeah,
instance, I'm just using that as an instance.
yeah,
And they'd say, I can't believe that I guess for lack of a better word, co-signing it. I can't believe that's okay with you. I can't believe, and I'm thinking just because I don't jump on every tweet and say, I can't believe you did this. This is repulsive. Or like, it doesn't mean that in the background, I'm not addressing it privately, which I feel like if it's an actual issue, I don't know why it would have to be done publicly unless it was to the point where I've tried to address it with you multiple times and you seem to be
Right.
ignoring it. You know what I mean? But not to jump
Yeah.
straight into it by having something to say and never having reached out privately in the first place is my thing.
And also, is this how we behave in real life? Everything somebody does, you confront them on it and you berate them over it and you insult them and you attack them and you keep mentioning it and you end your any association with them. Do we do that in real life? Because I don't.
if
I don't treat people like
if
that.
some people do treat people like this in real life, woo, I
Yeah,
I don't
no.
know if a lot of people know who Voltaire is. If you don't, you should definitely listen to him. Look up some of his quotes, apply it in your real life. But this is one that I was thinking of specifically for this whole week. It's better to
Yeah.
risk saving a guilty person than to condemn an innocent one. Because when you condemn someone who is not involved, excuse me, has nothing to do with it, you throw them out there, go real life, attack them, share their stories, and they're completely innocent. And you're doing it all on the premise that they might be involved. Why are you doing that? Um, that's like putting the cart before the horse. Like, why would you go real life on someone like that and attack them because you have this thought in your mind that there might be a link somehow?
Right.
I don't
Right.
understand that.
I don't either. I
Yeah.
don't either. And there's a lot of history here. 2 years worth of things
Right.
that multiple people, were involved in, whether they were good or bad, whether they were trying to help Summer or not. Everybody's motivation was Summer, but some people probably crossed lines they never should have. In retrospect, they probably knew, shit, I wouldn't have done that had I known today what I didn't know then. I can't condemn them. What am I going to do about that? I can't change it.
No.
There's nothing I can do about it.
And especially from an outside perspective, when you're seeing, well, you want me to look into this and see who was to blame, but from the outside, we're all seeing everyone was involved in everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
you,
Yeah.
you sat up there on those streams, you did those things. Like, I don't want to condemn you for that behavior either. So it's just,
Right. And that's another part of it. You know deeply about it in depth because you were there. Now you want me to know about it, but I wasn't there. But you're judging me because today I am friends with the same people that you were friends with because now because you were burned or you're upset with them, I'm supposed to be upset. No, it doesn't work like that. It's just like having an ex-boyfriend, right? I mean, think about this. He cheated on you, he did drugs, he didn't pay his child support, he did all the bad things. But everybody has the ability to change, can, do. He might go on to be a great man and you marry him and things are wonderful. Maybe not. Maybe you get burned too, but that's your business. It's nobody else's.
This brings me back to that conversation. I think probably the last time I even came up here to talk to you was when the glare was on here.
Mm-hmm.
And we had that, and it was an amazing discussion. I don't even remember like who specifically it was about, but when we like brought into question the whole thing of, well, is it the behavior? Is it the behavior that's the problem that makes us so angry at this person, or is it just the person? So,
Mm-hmm.
and a good way to tell that is like you just said, if I'm gonna, if I have an issue with this person because of their behavior, then if others do the same behavior to like point out that bad behavior, I should also have a problem with that, right? Theoretically, I should, if it's the behavior, then if it's my friend that's doing it, I should be like, that's not okay. So coming down to the very bottom of the point is it the behavior, or is it just dependent upon who the behavior is coming from?
Is it the behavior, truly the behavior, or is it the person that you're frustrated with?
I think
Like,
everybody themselves can only answer that,
right. And that's something I mentioned earlier in this week. We look at things and, just envision in your head, a pie graph. And what you know about a situation might only be 20% of that graph, right? So that leaves another 80% out there of, parts about the various situation, the conversation, all those things that you're not even aware of. If we relate it to Summer's case, because that's what we're talking about, we only see a small fraction of what truly happened. That 20%, maybe it's bigger, maybe it's less, whatever. But that still leaves so much more that we're not aware of, that we don't know and we don't understand. So we form these opinions based on a small percentage of what we actually know and what we actually see. I think that's very risky and bold to form such big, brazen opinions on things when we don't have the full story.
Well,
I
especially
think,
if you're going to affect someone's life over it.
Right.
yeah.
I'd
And I
hope
think,
you'd know everything and not just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
or at least are you trying to find out more? Like, are you looking to seek and find exactly what happened and more details and facts about what actually happened? Or are you just staying stagnant without any additional information and kind of just coming up with things to fill in the blanks?
I think if I knew today that something that was done in the past hindered and harmed and real life like affected Summerwell's case because it,
Mm-hmm.
maybe somebody really knew where she was and then they did something, that's different. I would dig until that person turned themselves in.
Right.
But it doesn't feel like any of that happened. Maybe people made the wrong moves, trusted the wrong person, wasted people's time. That's not the same to me,
We
to
lost
where I
you.
feel justified in attacking them.
Well, and let's go a step above that. Let's say, for instance, you have this theory, and in an effort to build up your theory, you start talking to individuals that are involved in a case like this. Okay. You don't know if let's say the police have more, well, obviously they'll have more information than you, but you don't know if they're looking into that person. You don't know, you just know what that person's telling you. And generally, someone that has something to hide isn't going to tell you all of the truth. And so, let's say you talk to that person and they give, some type of explanation, and something happens to where it's the example that jumps into my mind immediately. Someone passes away because of themselves. Okay. What if that person needed more looking into by the police or was already looking into? Here you wanted the truth so badly that now the person that could have actually given it is gone. even like with the cases of witnesses, like you talk to witnesses, people don't understand that in digging and trying to expand your theory, that if you might talk to a witness and you're doing it publicly, that when it comes down to it, that person might have like vital information, but it won't be able to be used when they finally find out what happened, because you've made them not credible at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, because we brought them on a public platform where they told thousands upon thousands of people, and
Right.
if they're lying, that the prosecution can easily bring that in, or the defense, and say, well, did you say this at this date on this person's YouTube stream?
Absolutely.
So we're digging and looking into things that it's not for us. You know,
And I
it's
think
just
people
not
think
for
that
us
like,
to do.
I think people think that YouTube is such like a small, like, oh, I'm just like this, this small YouTube, like they're never going to see it. Like that could not be any further from the truth. I think that if anything, like with this Brian Koberger stuff, it's never been more obvious that both sides are very much digging into what's happening in the media, because YouTube, Twitter, stuff like that is the new media. So not only are they getting to know what the reports are, but they can see every discussion that's had. They can see people's reaction to
Oh
certain
yeah.
information.
Mm-hmm.
So to think that you're like too small to be noticed.
And if we think that if they truly want something that's been posted on here, even if it's been deleted, they can get it. It might take a while. They can make their subpoenas and send in their things to get it. It's like I said, it might take a while, but they can. They can truly get a deleted stream from YouTube. It just would have to
Of
go through
course.
a lot
Or
of
you.
things.
They can get you.
Yeah.
My biggest when I saw people talking to like, I'll just say Don and Candace, like I was like, they're like, you should try to reach out and talk to so and so. Now it's different when someone's like, when like a teenager's missing and the parents are giving me their call history and they're like, we need help, like, because they're not helping. They think she just ran away. And can you call these people? Like, I will get involved with that. However,
Yeah.
something like this, it's like, you need to reach out to Jose. And I'm like, absolutely not. Are you insane? I would never. That is like my biggest, there's no cell in my body that is interested in having to go testify at court from one of these cases, and it like can and will happen.
That's exactly it. It can and it will happen. People will be called to testify or be held accountable for a lot of the things they've said and done. I want to real quick thank you, Spudler, for donating. That was so sweet of you. We're gonna get Nelson, free Nelson. Nana, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the streets. And PJ, welcome to the streets too, love. Thank you, girls. Thank you.
Especially if you're talking to them like privately and you're sent, let's say you're on your channel and like you're like, I talk to so and so who's involved in the case like all the time. We text and call each other like all the time. Well, if it comes down to it and something happens and that person is accused in some way, you better believe that like your devices are being downloaded. You're going to have to come in and talk about your discussions with them. I mean, I just don't know why you'd want to put yourself in a position to have to do that, especially.
I talked to both of them, and I don't record any of the calls. But I know that at some point it could come to it being them, or, they're going to want the information, and they're welcome to the information. I've never, ever talked to them. I don't ask them about crazy things that would, be specific to the case. There are times that I've asked clarifying questions, and those are, they're in the cloud. And I know better than to think that I'm above the law, that if my stuff is summoned, they're going to take it, and that's the end of the story. My initial intent with them was just to say, the whole world doesn't hate you. A lot of people do, but, hang in there, and you're innocent until you're proven guilty, and if you're proven guilty, hopefully they bury you under the jail. But I don't feel like you are, and until the police put the cuffs on you, just know that we're not all complete assholes trying to pick your entire life apart. And we became friendly.
And there's nothing
for
wrong
a
with
while. No. I have no regrets about speaking to Dawn and Candace at all. Dawn will text me like the other day. He sent me a picture of a Christian book, and it had on it the sticker "Find Summer Wells," and he said he had given it to Gonzo, the channel, the guy Gonzo, on here like a year ago, and it was in his memories on his phone, and it just made him think about summer, and he wanted to share it with me. That's it. You know, things like that. We can be kind. You know, like people will expect me because of my personality to get up on a stream with somebody and tear them to pieces, or to insult them, or to be snarky. You know, I don't do that when I go in somebody's house, so I'm not going to do that on here. I do have a rational side that's trying to understand things. Now, if you cross the line with me, it's going to be a different kind of conversation. But I have no reason to just go attack, you know.
I felt like yesterday that line was crossed. That's just my opinion observing.
Oh, it started. It definitely started. And I'm like, are you fucking threatening me?
It was
You could see the other side happening. I'm like, are you threatening me? Is that what's going on right now? Because that was going to be a different type of conversation. But then I'm like, okay, I don't even know. I can't even imagine that that's actually her, if that's what's going on right now. Because I'm not even, my brain couldn't even comprehend that. I'm like, really? Because we're about to go, and that's what people would have wanted to see.
I think that a lot of people do
comes out.
Yeah. I agree with that statement that was made yesterday on, Tiffany's channel, where she said a lot of people want us to fight and they want us to go at each other, and that's not going to happen because, and I can't remember the exact way she worded it, but then it was like it was on you because you'll see the truth one day. And I was re-listening to a couple of those initial streams, and what I mean by the side dissing, it's exactly what it sounds like. Or I think Cappy, maybe she calls it sneak dissing, but when you slide something in there that says that I don't trust your credibility or your integrity, or I don't believe you're fully opening your eyes and looking at something, that's absolutely a side sneak diss. You're saying,
oh no, I mean, with her saying it to me, it's not a sneak diss. I mean, she's telling me, I don't think you're seeing this. I don't think you are seeing this. And I'm thinking, maybe I'm not. Maybe I am, and I'm not going to discuss it. Maybe I've already discussed it, and I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to further go down this road. Until there's a reason to fight. And, yesterday I thought, oh, well, we crossed the line. Shit, I didn't think this was going to happen, but here we are. And I thought that was it. Now it's going to be me against Tiffany, and we've got to have this battle, and it's going to be awful, right?
Nobody wants that.
But no, but she's a hothead too. So I'm like, all right, here we go. She's threatening me. She's like, we have a fucking problem. I'm like, oh yeah, we do. Oh yeah, we do. And that would have been awful, and it would be awful. It wouldn't be good, because I'm also not the kind of person who quite comprehends when it's time to stop. Once you get into that rage and it's just over the line at that point. I felt that several times this week, where I want to say every fucking thing that I feel. Is that going to cause more harm to the people I'm friends with? It might. It might feel good for me to say the words. I might feel better, but I think it would ultimately cause more harm.
And what good is it going to do? That was one thing running through my head yesterday, just listening to first your stream, then her stream, then reading through all of the community posts, because I'm like, maybe I missed something there. Reading through all of them is like, why? Why is all of this happening? How is this helping Summer's case? How?
It's not.
I don't see it. And maybe I'm wrong.
Well, that's the other part. I can be a really nasty person. I know that about myself, and it's something that I hate. I've worked hard on not being that. You guys might see a snarky person or whatever sometimes, but I usually will try and ultimately turn it into a joke. But I can be extremely cutting and nasty, and I don't want to do that, especially what's the crux of this whole thing? It's Summer Wells. So I'm going to go up there and call people a cunt and I'll beat your ass, because that's where it goes for me. Is I can't reach out and touch you, and that's going to make me even more mad. So how do I deal with it? By flipping out and making threats and doing the things, like figuring out a way to get to you. I don't want to be that person. I feel it's so easy to go to that level, and that's so childish at my age, but I know that's exactly where things would go.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not going
I
to sit
think
on the
some
internet
people,
and argue with you. No,
yeah,
we're going to have to handle this.
there's
I
no
can't do
time
it.
to do that. And it just creates more and more drama, which creates more content. But going back to it, if I truly believe after, seeing all the things that yes, that Fed was absolutely fake. But like you explained on your live, we were all led to believe this narrative that all of these people were in on this, that they knew that this woman or this bed was fake, and that, Jody Sue was in the Discord with the fake bed. She was never in the Discord at the same time with the quote unquote fake bed.
I felt
So,
crazy, Deets,
yeah,
finding that out. I'm like, wait, what?
I
She's not
know.
in
When
there
you're
with
like,
her?
did you know this? I'm like, yeah. It's
I
really fake.
was
She wasn't in
so
there.
confused. I'm like, wait, what? I'm so mad. I'm like, no, she was, because that's why she's been mad for so long, because they did a fake Fed. And
Mhm.
then she was tortured. And then I look and I'm like, wait, you're not even in there? They were never together. This didn't happen? I was
Right.
pissed.
It's frustrating
Oh,
because you're like, wait, you've been going at, and we're talking about Jody here, not Tiffany in this little section here, because I think some people do get, because I know from like your community post, people were a little confused at who you were talking about on yours until you said, this is what it is. But even here, this is another point. This was a post that Jody made 3 days ago. It says, "You should have stayed on your own porch and off of mine. I have known for eons, hence the steady nonsense." So, one, we've been led to believe that this fake bed and Jody were in the same Discord. They weren't. And then this here is a text from somebody else to Jody. And it says, the other person says, TM wasn't getting info quick enough. I guess what they thought you knew. Jody replies, so someone had blank brought in to do what exactly and by whom? The other person says, groom you, basically, chasing. She says, the fuck? And the other person says, chasing connects everything. Jody asks, chasing? They say, truth. She says, seriously? She says, she runs one section like Gavel and Scott.
I
This is
cannot
not
imagine.
proof of anything. Whoever this
No.
person is, and I don't know who it is, that is texting Jody Sue, has came up with a conspiracy in their mind that chasing truth connects all the dots. She runs all the things, and she's here to groom Jody Sue. So in turn, Jody takes and runs with that whole thing because she believes it to be true, just based on the fact of what
Right.
this one person told her. That's not a receipt, y'all. It's not a receipt of
No.
anything.
And isn't that a strange thing? Because
Yes.
how was I grooming her if we never, ever have had any type of conversation whatsoever? So I groomed you into what exactly? We've never communicated, ever,
Yeah.
except the arguments that a couple arguments that we've had on like Tiffany's panel.
Back and
That's it.
forth. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And we don't know when
Groom
that
her.
text
Yeah.
came or anything else behind it, but it's not proof of anything.
Good Lord in heaven, Jesus. That was a good one. And I'm just like, she's just going to keep putting this stuff up about me. And I've had enough.
It was a
I've had
lie.
enough.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. And I'm not standing for it. And when I was in Tennessee, I truly meant what I was saying. I did want to meet with her because it's the right thing to do. This summer's not content. All of this isn't fucking content. I wanted to meet her. And people will be like, oh, that's stupid. Everything that she's done to you or said about you. I don't care. I just wanted to sit with the woman and say, you know what? I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to be afraid that I'm behind the scenes doing nefarious things to your children and you. Please don't believe that. That's it. Not for content, not for anything, just me and her, no phones, no nothing. And
Right.
I feel that way.
Just
And
a
that's how I handle
conversation.
myself usually on panels. This isn't about content. I
Mm-mm.
want to understand what you're saying. I don't understand why you're doing the things you do or why you're saying what you're saying. And I can be mature enough to sit here and listen to what you're trying to say. I'll process it myself and compare it to what I know and make up my own mind. That's what I'm going to do every single time. I'm going to listen, I'm going to compare it, and then I'm going to make my own decision. I don't want to dig into all this because if I do, I'm probably going to end up fighting with a lot of people.
And it's going to be really frustrating. And like you said, does it truly have anything at all to do with Summer? If these
Mm-mm.
things, I don't think any of these things, this whole back and forth, this whole narrative, Jody Sue's involvement, all of that behind the scenes, this group, that group, all the groups, what have you, I don't think they have truly anything at all to do with Summer's case. Now, if you feel they do, turn that stuff in, turn it in.
Right.
Why is it here and thrown up and constantly being used to tell, Casing specifically, you're covering for them. Covering what for them?
Yeah, they did it all in the past. And other people, other than me, know about it. Were part of it, understood it, were messaging, all the things were happening. But I'm now supposed to come out and explain, verify, dissect,
Mhm.
involve myself into what exactly? Into what? Something that happened 18 months ago? No, it doesn't make any logical sense to me. But I think because, like we'll take Penny, for example, because Penny and I correspond, because I like Penny, because I met her in Tennessee, I'm
Mhm.
now responsible for or okaying the behavior that she had when all of this went on. I don't even know the extent of it. So
How
it's
can
now
you
my
say?
responsibility to go find out. Maybe Penny used to, maybe 10 years ago, Penny was, I don't know, we're making this up now, right? She was
Mhm.
a stripper who, I don't know, stabbed somebody because he was going to rob her for her stripper money. And she killed him, and he was somebody's dad. Am I supposed to go back into her past and find this out and be like, oh my God, Penny, you disgusting person. You kill. It's what am I don't know any of this.
How is it your
And if it did not,
responsibility?
yeah, because she did whatever she did when she was stripping 10 years ago. What the fuck? It's
Right.
not. Like, it's not. My husband's past is not my past. Before he met me, he did whatever he did. Before I met him, I did whatever I did. That's it. That's
Mhm.
all. I can't. Uh, I don't know how else to say it anymore. And I felt like, and I still feel like a broken record. I don't know that I was getting my point across very well.
No.
My
Honestly,
concern
you
is
were distracted.
Jody. Yeah, yeah. And I don't like that feeling either. I was defending myself against Jody. Has nothing to do with Jenny,
Mhm.
Adrian, Penny, or anybody else. It's specific to Jody's words and specific from me back to Jody. End of. That's it. There is nothing else.
No, none of this is leading law enforcement to Summer. I always took up for Jody and her children, but I also know in my heart that Tracy just wants the truth and for Summer to be found. Yeah. Um, and you can do both. You can, and I people forget this, that you can encompass both things. You can take up for Jody and her children. No, they absolutely do not deserve to be attacked on certain fronts. But you can also believe that the things that she's spreading around, like that message I just showed, and these theories about chasing and others, it's hot garbage. You can think both things. I don't think people realize that it's possible to think both things.
And I guess it shouldn't even bother me what Jody thinks or is saying. That she is the neighbor of Summer Wells, right? And
Mhm.
she may have had some real life experiences where she's concerned or afraid. And
Right.
I'm not going to discount those and say that some of this stuff hasn't happened to her. I think a lot of it's paranoia. But I
I
do
do
think
too.
things have happened to her that scare her. I don't want
Yeah.
her to think that I would have a hand in that. That's really all. Other than
If
that, I don't give
you're
a fuck.
if you're trying to connect all of these dots in the background and force these puzzle pieces into happening, and this is for everyone. If you're trying to say, "Oh my gosh, Chasing Truth is friends with Deets on Facebook, so therefore they're in tight with a scheme to run this narrative about Summer Wells just because they're friends on Facebook." How ridiculous does that sound to everyone? Just because, Chasing Truth talks to Heels in the Air, her and Heels know about these big conspiracies. You're connecting dots and connecting people that might have nothing to do with the story or the situation. That's bizarre to me. You throw out, you go on this whole real life live, throwing out Yennefer's business and try to connect her boss who donated a watch to the disappearance of Summer Wells. That's so bizarre and scary to take things that far. But we're seeing it happen over and over and over again. I can't
Yeah,
grasp
I think the internet gives us some type of false security that I can say this because I'm on the internet and it'll be okay, Even though what I'm doing, a lot of people may not like, I feel like I'm justified in doing it and it's going to cross a line and I don't care. And that's where I think my flaw comes in is I could not just let it stay on the internet like this, whether it's
it.
legal or physical. It would have to come off of the internet because you're dealing with my life now. We're not just dealing with talking about facts in Summerwell's case. You're trying to affect my life. That's very different than you don't like my opinion on Dawn Wells. That is a
Yeah.
very, very different thing. And that's why I try to stay out of most of this stuff. I always promise Scott that I just wouldn't get into the drama because he knows that I can't handle that. That I'm not capable of just being like, oh, somebody's talking shit about me on YouTube.
Mhm.
That's one thing. But going as far as, the lady on Jody's the other day saying everybody's families and lives and all of this should be looked into. Well, if it was wrong when it was done to Jody,
It's
how could
wrong.
it be right,
Mhm. Yeah,
to do it to anybody else?
yeah, there's a
I
lot
would
of
stop at
hypocrisy
nothing.
happening. Mhm.
Yeah, I'd stop at nothing until I found the person who did it. And they were the major issues. Because if in fact all of these things were done to Jody and she's only bitching about it on YouTube and not handling it for real in real life, then that's
Right.
crazy to me.
And I agree.
Like,
If those things have happened to her, if even, a tenth of what she proclaims has happened to her here on these YouTube streets, I mean, handle it. Handle your business because you need to take that to law enforcement. You need to do something with it. You need to dig into it. But the streams and the accusations and the throwing people under the bus and trying to connect it back and somehow say that that is something to do with Summer's case is absurd. Summer went missing, just like Aries Fire says here that, Summer is the innocent victim here, and her brothers are the only children. Well, I do think that, her kids might be affected partially from Summer's disappearance, but not on the grand level it's made out to be. But they are affected by the things that are happening here on YouTube. So handle that for sure. Handle it with law enforcement because doing these streams over and over and trying to connect, Tracy and I can't even think, Michelle After Dark and Gavel and like trying to put all of these things together, these puzzle pieces, and make them work, you're creating new victims.
yeah, and you're creating new enemies.
New,
And not everybody handles things the same way. I can come up here and have a conversation with Deets, and maybe someday me and Deets don't like each other. But the tone that we're able to use with each other is a lot different than how you would handle somebody else. If you're
Mhm.
dealing with somebody on the internet who you know will go real life, who will do terrible things, you have to handle them a certain way. You don't just go up and act a damn fool. Jody acts a fool all the time, and she doesn't stop. She is implying, insinuating, and saying all of this stuff about all of these people, and it's like she feels everybody's the enemy. There is no, oh, I can go have a nice conversation with this person and not feel like because they know that person, they're the enemy.
Mhm.
Everybody's the enemy. That's got to be a sad way to live, to think that everybody on here is connected to everybody on here and everyone wants to see you suffer.
Yeah.
That's horrible. I can't
Everybody,
imagine.
everybody to be just as miserable as they are.
Shit.
And Papa Jones, I agree with you partially. That he says, in my super unpopular opinion, all the conspiracies, the competition, the negative attention from most of these so-called Summer Wells supporters have completely screwed the entire case up. I believe it's screwed, or it's messed with what is shared here on social media, what others are taking in. But I truly think that law enforcement stepped in from the jump and said, they've been calling out social media since, the first month. And I don't think that they are using or looking at any of this in relation to her case. Now, they might be watching the parents and stuff, sure. But this drama about discords and fake feds and scamathons and all those things, they're not, no, that's not messing with her case.
I'd be very concerned about the fake Fed issue.
Yeah,
I still
pretending
am
to be an
very
agent.
concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're pretending to be an agent and this is a missing child's case. That for me, reading through her correspondence, the way that she spoke to me, I was like, this is not a federal agent.
It was
Hey,
obvious. Yeah.
right? But that, my assumption is Jody has turned it in. I saw the email where Penny sent it on to the real people, and that's it. So what the fuck are we talking about right now? What are we
Yeah.
talking about? It's been turned in, and hopefully, if it's not the Stacey Slay person and it's somebody else, hopefully they had their eyes on them and they know what they're doing. That's all I can hope for.
So all of this information's been turned in on both sides about this fake federal agent, which I mean, I think that is also a lesson to everyone out here. I don't know about you. Well, I'm sure you get more than I do. Get daily emails from people. I cannot check them all. It's just not possible. And some of them
Yep.
are the wildest claims, the wildest accusations. They are, thankfully, none that I've read so far are people pretending to be fake agents or anything like that. But you have a lot of people coming to you saying they know this family specifically or they know this person specifically. And I found out really quick when you press for more info, they're not willing to give it. So be very careful about what you take in your own personal messages, your own emails from people as believing it to be fact. Because a lot of times people are lying and it's hard to grasp because you're like, why would they lie about that? Why would someone pretend to be
Right.
a fake federal agent and do all of this stuff? Because we're thinking about it from our own perspective. I would never pretend to be a federal agent and do all this crap. But sometimes people lie just to lie, and it's gross.
They want to feel part of something, right? And if
Mhm.
you're somebody who's like deep in the Summer Wells case and you really care, you want to believe, right? But you have to have discernment as well and think, well, why would this person be contacting me? What information do I have unique to the case? What can I specifically do? And not get carried away and think you're really talking to somebody that you're not. Whoever that person was is a very disturbed individual.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You don't. I never really quite understood the whole fake Fed narrative. I kind of made fun, like, oh yeah, fake Fed, sure, yeah, No, really, a fake Fed, and it's insane. But Jody wasn't talking to the person, so there's that. That never happened. which is crazy to me. Like, I really thought they put her in there with these people, and the people were getting information and harming Summer's case. And no.
See, and that's the thing. So Fizzle said she was card technically. That does, yes, it does fall. She's a special agent if she's part of the card team. I know a member of the card team, not one that worked on Summer's case. She would never tell me ever in a million years personal details about active case. Now, yeah, we've talked about stories and situations that's happened afterwards, or I've, gave her a generalized question like, hey, what would y'all do in this situation? And there are some things that they can't share, but I can tell you one thing is for sure. They would never show up in your emails under a Gmail account. They would never talk about what is currently happening in a case, things of that nature. It's just not going to, and they're not going to be in Discords. If they are, then you're not going to know that they're a federal agent. You just won't. So,
no, that affects their career.
Absolutely.
There's paperwork that needs to be done, and a lot of it.
Yeah. To even get to that
talk
stage
to anyone, and send them places and get information. Do you know how much paperwork that involves? You're dealing with the federal government. It's a very different thing than somebody sending a Gmail saying they are this person.
Yep.
No, you're damn not.
It would take them months to get, well, at least a month to get approval to even initiate a conversation like that or an activity like that. You can't.
And there'd have to be a good cause for it, for them to waste their resource that way. They'd have to know that Penny, Scott, and whoever else they're wanting to talk to has vital information and can be used as some type of source. They have to prove that and get that signed off on and say, this is why we believe this, because of this information here, and then get it approved. They don't just show up, hey, hi, I watched your stream. I'm a card agent. How are you? And here's some information. No.
No. It just doesn't work out that way. It's I don't know. And then all these things have stemmed from that. All of these behind the scenes accusations and friendship accusations, and they did this and they did that, and you show me your receipts, but I'm not going to show you my receipts. But all this back and forth stems to that and that marathon. And makes you want to bang your head against the wall.
Yeah. And that's what, that's why I asked, would y'all go behind the scenes and have a conversation? If this is about Summer, it is worth sitting down and having a conversation where things can be resolved, because it is about Summer, right? So not to say that Summer is the child on her, No. She's a case we all care about. She is a little girl who is lost out there somewhere. We don't know. And if you're this invested, where we're willing to attack, dox, harass, upset other people, then it's worth having a private conversation where tempers aren't on show for an audience, and we can discuss things. Maybe you get it resolved, maybe you don't, but it doesn't have to be for YouTube. It does not.
Do you think that that's even possible? I have seen so many people on these streets try to get up on a live and have a conversation, and they just end up screaming and yelling at each other.
Because you're on a live.
Yeah. But you have to.
You're on a live.
You did that yesterday. I think it was very smart to have that conversation on a live after all of these things that are being, all these people that are being accused behind the scenes. I think it's smart to do it publicly now, moving forward. There's no way I would ever do it privately with any of this stuff. So I think that was smart, but I would love to see this conversation and hashed out, because it truly does. This is just my worthless opinion. It truly does feel like one person is mad at another person, and so they're going to do all the things to make that person look bad instead of trying to understand what is actually happening.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate.
It is.
Because it doesn't help. It's not helping. I mean, unless there's some information that we're all missing that really did affect Summer's case,
Then show us. Yeah.
and we just don't see it. Where is it? What is it? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you can come up, baby, if you want to.
Yeah, and I'm hopping down. I got to go feed the fish and do the things. And
Do all the things. All right, love.
all
Thank
the things.
you. I'm
Thanks
sorry
for
about this.
having me.
Yeah.
Nah,
Hang in
I'm
there.
good.
Take a break.
I will. All right, huh? Bye.
Bye, babe. Could the fake Fed be doing it to feel important or for money or for, I mean, that would be my guess. Like, I don't know about for money. There'd have to be a trail, and I guess people that were involved would have to show that trail, I guess. But it kind of sounds like this person was just doing it to their own sick, twisted reasons. I don't know. Hey, Angel, how are you
Hi,
doing?
how are you? I just wanted to come up for just a minute. I was talking in the chat, but it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I probably know about 2% of this whole situation.
Right.
But the way that I look at it, yes, it doesn't have to do with Summer, but there are people using her name to scam other people,
Right.
and some of them are doing it in a way where their victim is put in a place where they're afraid to talk about being scammed. And so there's all these people who have been scammed and they've been silent this whole time. And I had been following somebody around YouTube who was in my chat, who was on my channel under a different name. And I come to find out that the person that I thought who was named Brock is actually Kelly Fustos and had been here for a really long time. And actually prior to Summer going missing, she's scamming people. Okay. And, you know, the reason that I have been talking about her specifically is because she's scamming other viewers. And I feel like at times, some people believe that it's only creators that are scamming, but it's actually viewers scamming other viewers. Yeah. And that's using Summer's name to get money is my problem.
So how is she? I don't know. I've heard the name Kelly Fustos a few times, but I don't know how she connects to the things and how is she scamming people.
So she was in Discord there. You'll see her all the time under her real name, Kelly Fustos. But she's also known as Hollerback or Hollerback Girl or Brock, or like there's a variety of different names that she comes in under. And this is how I believe that she does this. She goes into a community, a particular
you're
channel.
Really low, Angel. I tried to
turn it up. Let me see. Is that better? Any better?
A little bit better. Let's see what the chat says.
So what she would do is she would go to a particular area in our community that doesn't necessarily I don't necessarily talk to Chasing Truth. We've never really had a conversation.
Right.
And so she takes advantage of the fact that I'm not over there and Chasing Truth is not on my channel. And this quote unquote Brock, she scans through the regulars and picks a victim, the easiest one, the easiest target, and then sends them email after email after email saying she's homeless, she got evicted by a crooked landlord, she doesn't have anywhere to live, she hasn't eaten, there's no food, she doesn't have Wi-Fi, and she doesn't. So she'll say, can you help me pay for a hotel? Can you send me money on my Cash App? And then that's followed up with, if you tell anybody, I'm going to end my existence if you don't Cash App me. And so, if someone approaches you like that and you think they're good, like that you think they're on the up and up, you're going to want to help them out. And at the same time, they're putting you in a place where you're like, oh God, okay, so she told me not to tell anybody. And if I do, I'm running the risk that she's going to harm herself. All the while, there's other people being scammed at the same time. And then once she gets found out, she abruptly leaves and goes somewhere else to a different channel until she's found out there, and then so on and so forth. But this has been happening
1 second. Okay, thank you, Roban. Thank you so much. Said I love your channel and what you're doing. You're so wise, kind, and honest. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I want to keep hearing this, but I want to stop real quick. How were you able to connect that she was? And thank you, the 3Fs, for becoming a member. Welcome to the streets, hon. How were you able to connect that she was all of these people? I just want to understand it before.
Sure. So she showed up on my channel the end of March of last year. Just I don't know where she came from, but she showed up in my channel, and she seemed nice, and she's a good researcher. I knew her as Brock. That's how I knew her as Brock.
Okay.
And I talked to her countless times on the phone or on Discord voice or whatever. We researched together a lot. So I know what she sounds like when she talks. She talks a specific kind of way. And then I saw this stuff going around about the quote unquote fake fed, which I don't, that's not my situation. And I was curious about who Kelly Fustos was. And I found a video. It's like a podcast thing where she's cammed up and she's talking, and I'm watching and I'm listening, and I'm like, oh my God, that's Brock. And I dug
Just
some
the
more.
voice alone, it was that distinct.
Yes. Oh yeah. And her picture, I mean, this is like on this particular video, she was on camera talking, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, because I know what she looks like. So I went to just check. I checked some other videos, and it's her. It's her everywhere. It's just under a different name every time.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, how can I prove this, right? So I went into Cash App, and I searched Cash App for Brock's email address. And when I did that, it sent me to a Cash App belonging to Kelly Fustos.
Okay, so that's a good, I mean, that's a direct.
That's how I got there.
Yeah, that Brock is Kelly.
Yep.
Okay. So now what has, I remember her name from that Discord. So now what all has this individual done? But you're saying she goes in and gains people's sympathy.
Yep.
To get them to help her out in situations.
In situations that aren't quite
true.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I say, it's all, the story is always the same, and it always ends with, if you tell anybody, I'm gone. That's how it always ends. Always. So, you know, if you're a kind person and you have this person who you think is a good person telling you, I've got kicked out, I don't have food, blah, blah, blah. What are you supposed to do? You're going to think, I'm going to help them, right? And then come to find out, about a month after she had showed up on my channel, she had started to scam somebody who had been on my channel for a really long time. But the person that she scammed didn't want to tell me because of, you know, don't tell anyone or I'm going to do this.
It's embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when the person that she scammed finally told me that it was Brock, right? Because I didn't know she was Kelly Fustos at this time. So I was dealing with Brock, and I took away her wrench, and she vanished from my channel as Brock. But prior to that, she was floating around as Kelly Fustos, and then she changed her name to Hollerback Girl, and that's what she is as of yesterday. But I had
connect to. Does she connect to Stacy Slay, or is that something completely separate?
They were all around. Well, every time that there's receipts pulled up from Discord, you see her name all over, but it doesn't look like there's much interaction about that topic. But then again, I've never seen all of the receipts, so to speak. I'm only given screenshots of things, so I can't gauge things if I can't see the whole thing from start to finish. I get bits and pieces, so I don't know exactly how she's involved with that whole thing. I only know when she came over to me and she's Brock and she's doing all of this stuff. And she eventually goes into Andy B's when he did that very first long live stream, like in the middle of the night, and he had people calling and things. So she had spent, under the name Kelly Fustos, she had spent some period of time in Discord with Jody Sue, and then fast forward from October 21 to August of 22, and there she's in Andy B's giving him little red hearts and things.
Sorry, I'm dealing with. I've never had a troll like this. Why they just keep coming in under the same name, different accounts, and
This is exactly why people don't talk about it, because this happens.
every time you talk about it, this happens.
People will
I've
try to shut you
never
down.
had this happen in my chat before. This is
Yep.
insane.
Yep.
What's happening? What's happening in
There's
chat?
this guy, Mr. Burgless, I guess. He keeps coming in. He's kind of doing what blank screen, does
Oh,
sometimes, but it's weird. They just keep posting your message here. I blocked him, Papa Jones. Here we go again, but I don't get it.
It's like it doesn't. It's like there are people that don't want all of the details floating around. And I just yesterday there was a mention of, well, the message was directed at me in a chat, and it was something like, "You aren't the first person to be talking about this. Why are you acting like this is the first time?" And I have yet to hear anybody tell me about Brock. I'm talking about her, and I'm trying to warn people. You have this person, she changes her name all the time, but if she comes with you with this story, because it's always very similar, then you're probably dealing with her. And I'm not going to tell people how to spend their money, but I'd suggest maybe not doing that.
I feel like I just seen the holler back name.
Yep.
Probably within the last 3 days. I just seen it somewhere. I can't remember where, but I did see it.
And the other thing, Deets.
Real quick, before I want to hear that. Mind of Monsters, thank you so much for that, love. And then Birdie, if someone hit you, it might be because they were trying to get that troll.
It jumps.
Everybody here knows that, like, I don't want stuff blocked or hidden or timed out or anything like that. But this guy's just being a nuisance, so it was probably just an accident. But go ahead, Angel.
The comment about me not being the first. I don't. It's not about being first, right? I just want people to know that there's somebody floating around amongst us, changes their name all the time, and scams other viewers and puts them in positions where I'm like, how are you supposed to get out of that position that she's doing this? And my goal is to make people aware of her and the scam to prevent them from being scammed also. And where Summer comes in, as far as my perspective, is that had Summer never gone missing, then this community wouldn't be here, so to speak. And then all of her victims wouldn't have been collected, and then she wouldn't have been, you know what I'm saying? It's like a domino effect. So she comes into the quote unquote Summer Wells community and starts scamming people in here. And I can't with that. I can't deal with people using Summer's name in a way to get money for something that isn't quite true. That's my situation. The fake Fed stuff, I have no clue. I don't know.
You've just found this scammer. You're outing what they're doing, but you're not linking them together. I did see Birdie's comment. Sorry, I'm trying to go over to my dashboard and turn on subscribers only. But where was, I think I saved it. Let me come back over here. What did she say? She said Fustos was on YouTube, The Traffic Show.
Yep.
Date episode 2, Angel showed us, but listen to the intro voice on the show because it sounds familiar. Do you have a link for that, Angel? We can pull it up and listen to it.
It's from the video from yesterday. I linked everything in there.
It's in your video? I'll go over there.
It's the links in the description. There's a couple of them from that YouTube channel. You don't get to see her talking, but it's her photo. It's who I know as Brock. It's really hard for me to do this because I know her as Brock.
I'm just kind of curious though if any of the rest of us recognize her voice.
See, that's my goal right there. Is to say, don't be afraid. If you've been scammed by her, don't be ashamed. Don't feel bad. You're not the only one. There's lots of people.
And I appreciate that. I would love to hear her voice to see.
Here, I'm doing subscribers real quick. We'll just do 5 minutes and then I'll do that. All right. Good.
Everybody keep in mind this is kind of like there's so many different personalities on YouTube.
Yeah.
like the circle jerks just got catfished.
Mm-hmm.
You got this person possibly going around scamming people, changing identities, threatening self-harm. It's just weird, man.
People they're doing way too much on these.
Be aware, guys. Be aware. If you're donating, I mean, they could sound like the best person in the world, but they might not be. Just be aware.
Is it it's not about money, it's about sending a message one?
Yeah, I put in private chat one of the links to that channel in which she's talking. It's called the Traffic Report Show. And the host, I'm going to say host, he's pretty good about swapping. Every time she talks, he pulls her up, her photo or whatever to let you know she's talking. But it's mind blowing to me because I don't know her as Kelly Fustos. I know her as Brock. It's weird to see and hear someone else talking, knowing that it's, you know what I mean? It's like this Twilight Zone.
Timestamp I should go to? Oh,
she talks throughout the whole thing.
Oh, does she?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's just play a little bit and see.
The topic on the video might be triggering. Oh my gosh. Can you hear me still?
Yes.
If you go to 4 minutes and 34 seconds.
Okay.
Down at the bottom corner on the right-hand side, there she is right there. She cammed up for the beginning part. You see her down at the bottom in the middle?
Yes.
That's her. Yeah. That's her.
My thing's in the way. I think if I give it a second, it'll go.
Once it plays, it will drop off.
All right. Let's
bigger organization.
There she is.
And he can't tell me which one that is.
Here.
Yep.
But apparently he's they're a small, media company and basically troubleshooters, it sounds like, and they were just retained. So they have not had a long-standing relationship with this International Stop Rape campaign. But he seems to be willing to, and he actually told me, he doesn't know a whole lot more than we know. But we're gonna go ahead, Howie.
On the Stop Rape campaign has 12 branches.
We've been going through this done, and I have done so. Stop Rape International Canada, and they seemed like a very up 2016. Something happened from 2006 with some of those people, but he's been touted as he was.
Just see. Is there a spot where she actually does the talking?
Well, it doesn't look familiar, so there's that. But
this may be her. No, she
worry
doesn't.
About this, and she travels in circles, in American University, the UN,
now that looks
familiar. And she's
that's
confused
her.
as I
That's
am.
her.
It does.
Well, yep. I'm just saying this from the
Yeah, that emoji.
Yep.
Her avatar looks familiar.
That's her. That's her for real photo of herself. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think I might have seen that somewhere before. You try. I was just coming back and looking at the chat, seeing if there was anyone who had a time stamp of her talk. Yeah. With Queen, just ignore the troll. The mods know that they can, time that person out. So no worries about that. Okay, let me go back and see if we can find her talking.
The simple perspective that when I was just bopping around the different websites, Stop Rape campaign, Youth End web designer, website, just so somebody was, paying.
Right, and with my research, it looks as if the Stop the Rape campaign, that website was not created until 2017. Okay, so if he truly started it in 2013, supposedly, that's what they're saying, correct?
Well,
doesn't sound familiar to me, but
No, Adam, this is exactly the.
As if the Stop the Rape campaign, that website was not created until 2017. Okay. So if he truly started it in 2013, supposedly, that's what they're saying, correct?
Does anybody else recognize her? That I can't place it. I'm with you, Jones, and I can't place that voice.
You see her name at the bottom, Kelly?
Yes.
In the description, I think it's listed there. I ended up on this channel through the Facebook page for this group.
Okay.
And they tagged her, and since then the tag has been, her name is there, but the tag must have gotten changed or something because it doesn't link out anymore.
So this Kelly person you're saying is the same as the what was the name you said on your
Kelly Fustos is Hollerback or Hollerback Girl is Brock.
Brock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now what? Okay, you said she's been in your chats, scamming people. What other creators' chats has she been in under these names? You know, doing this to their subs.
It's really
The
hard to
intro
tell.
voice. Where's the intro? Is did I miss it? Birdie said no. You're missing the intro voice. Let me see here. I can go back to the intro and see. What did I miss in the intro? This is to begin.
We're so grateful to be here and very happy to discuss these incredibly important and hard to talk about topics. He has an incredible backbone and staggering moral fiber. Howie's totally committed, completely ethical, totally admirable. No pressure if you can hear this, but honestly, Howie's a hero to me.
I don't recognize that.
I don't either. I don't know who that is. That's not Brock though.
That one's not Brock.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I know that she was in the Discord with JSB. I remember her from there. It didn't seem like she was doing, and she was in a lot of she was in a lot of the marathon lives. Good morning, Nonsense. How are you, love? Look like Lauren. I don't know if that's a famous person or someone's name, so I'm not gonna pop it up. Yeah, it's not familiar to me at all.
It's just so wild and bizarre to me to see and watch her talking with the name under there as Kelly, and I know her as somebody else. And you know what I mean? It's like
when you're being catfished like that, like Johnson said earlier, you know what the jerks went through, and Six Up and others with that whole situation. It's wild when you get hurt like that, betrayed like that, and you find out the truth.
Now, have you questioned her about this?
I've tried, but she won't talk to me.
But you've seen her around because you said her name was Hollerback.
Hollerback now. Yeah.
So she's got multiple accounts. So the Hollerback Girl account used to be just Kelly Fustos. Then she changed the name to Hollerback Girl, which it is right now. And I'm sure if she's paying attention, she'll probably change it. And then she has another account that she was running under the name of Brock. But I can't tell you how many people she scammed because of her threats to them, to silence them. So the last time I was aware of any of activity from her was November of last year, when she started emailing some other people with the same story. Help me, cash out me, or else.
And so she was, specifically asking for cash apps.
Yep.
Yeah. If Sarah Mee remembers her, she's my OG. Sarah Mee's been around since the very beginning of all of this. So you remember her, Sarah? She's been around this long? And someone else said it too. I remember that avatar, just not that voice. Yeah, Veloma does have a very similar looking avatar, but that's
not Veloma.
Not the same. No, it's not the same one. But I do remember that specific one. Yeah. Yeah, that was it was on a screenshot. What do y'all shared talking about that Discord? It was I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand. Are you thinking there's the possibility that they're linked, or no? You're just concerned because this woman's actually out there scamming people.
Yeah, I have less I have a less pressing concern about that stuff, and a more immediate concern to stop it from happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if it will stop, then maybe I can go back and look at what happened before. Priority number one for me is to have her stop. That's priority number one.
Right.
And then after that, I really have no interest in speaking with her, really.
Well, I came up to offer my ability of Kelly, come take a link. Generally, if I say their name 3 times, they show up in a chat.
I was like, what are you doing?
So I was just coming to offer my services of Red Rover, send Kelly's
Send Kelly
website
right
on
over.
over.
Yeah.
It is blackmail by emotional manipulation. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I was coming up to say was this
Oh,
is
Birdie.
actually a criminal offense because it's blackmail by emotional manipulation, and it then goes into extortion.
Okay, so Birdie thinks that is you speaking in the intro.
That's funny.
Okay, let's listen again.
Alrighty.
We're hearing Angel. We'll be fair about this. We're hearing Angel talk up here. So let's listen to this.
You got to pull up the captions, and then I can just repeat it.
Okay, I can do that. All right, here we go.
Important and hard to talk about topics. He has an incredible backbone and staggering moral fiber. How he's totally committed, completely ethical, totally admirable. No pressure if you can hear this, but honestly, how he's a hero to me.
I don't
Is
hear
that what I sound like?
No, I don't hear
No.
Angel there at all.
No.
Whoa.
But I want to know. I got a question. Can somebody break down staggering moral fiber? Because if your moral fiber is staggering, like that means it's been harmed and like it didn't get washed with shout and tide and stuff. Like your moral fiber shouldn't be staggering or wavering or anything. It should be like the
Well, people's, their moral fiber does begin to wane or change, or, you might think today, I will never do this. I will always follow, this path of justice or this path of morals. And then later on, you might start to move and drift over into another lane and think something different. And that's kind of what they mean by staggering. It's fell to the wayside.
Okay. I got stuck on the word staggering and I was thinking of drunken moral fiber, like your moral fiber running around there, like bouncing off of street poles and all kinds of shit. Sorry, I got really that's where I honed in and I'm like, I'm going to need some help on this one because your moral fiber shouldn't waver.
So maybe she has been.
Yeah, she has. So before here, she was in with what we're watching right now. She was in this particular community, this traffic report community on Facebook. And you'll see, if you go to that Facebook page, you'll see there's a post in there of her, of the story about how she doesn't have a home and the whole thing. That's how I ended up with the video you have, is through that Facebook page, which is Traffic Report Show.
And so, looking through here. Oh, people are really thinking it's Paloma, huh?
It's not Paloma.
Here comes the good Nunya. Here I come with the norms. Have receipts been shown of this person being one and the same? Proof of her scamming being put out.
I have all of that.
Yeah, I can drop the video link that she just did.
So July 17 of 2019, she's in that Traffic Report Show Facebook group. And Kelly Fustos, the researcher for Traffic Report, has recently been displaced from her home with her 2 girls by a crooked landlord. And then there's a GoFundMe.
That's what she was saying earlier. Maybe you might have missed it. Like she was able to connect this person
The
through
Cash
the
App thing.
emails and the Cash App.
Wow. So this lady's
Mhm.
legit pulling on heartstrings.
Yes,
It's not
absolutely.
even like she's pretending to pull on heartstrings. She's legit pulling on heartstrings.
Yes, in a big way. I mean,
In a really, because she's saying she's homeless with kids.
and that if you don't Cash App her, she's gonna
Yeah.
end her existence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And
so
it's the
lip lock.
same. It's the
Sorry.
same every single time. It's the same sort of, you know, the script, Candace's script, right? We all know it. We
Yeah.
got the candy and the washing hands. So with Brock or Kelly Foos, whatever her name is now, it's the same thing. She's kind of got her baseline story, and she tweaks it here and there if she's not getting responses fast enough. But it's always consistently the same.
Yeah, it's not Veloma, but the avatar looks like the one Veloma uses.
Yeah, but it's different.
We
It
know
is.
that
it's
it's
not
not
her.
Veloma.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
And did
back,
you see that
Johnson?
Liplock came in with the definition of staggering? Adjective. I'm getting back up to it, dang it. My whole chat just jumped. Staggering, adjective, deeply shocking, astonishing. So his moral fiber is deeply shocking and astonishing. That doesn't sound like he's of good moral character.
No.
No, not at all. And she's touting this person as a good person?
The video, I can grab the video for you.
Oh, I've been watching it this morning, Deets. I've been watching everything.
Kathy's asking for this video link. That's what I was.
Sorry.
I can grab it for her. I'll listen to it later for sure.
She shows up again on a different. She shows up again on a different video on that same channel.
How old was this one? I still have it pulled up.
2018.
So it's quite some time.
Mm-hmm. But see, the thing is that Summer went missing, and so now she was here until she got found out.
So
she
you
was
think
also
that
over in Jim Terry's chat. Those names that you had said prior are names that were over in Jim Terry's chat.
Seriously? Oh my god! This is in the back chat. I put the link for the other video that she's on. That at least the only one I know of.
Yeah, Brock was in there on the regular, and so was Hollerback Girl.
So you think it's just someone that's hopping around to true crime communities, taking advantage of the subs, even?
Yes. She's only ever attempted to scam one creator that I know of. Everybody else that she's done this to have all been, excuse me, viewers.
Can you put that in the back chat for me, the specific Cash App that she uses?
I searched by her email address.
Her email.
Just a minute.
This is so gross. This is just so gross.
Yeah, I've seen a Hollerback Girl over there too. I don't know if it's the same one. I mean, I don't want everybody to be out there side-eyeing all the
Hollerback girls
out there. Does she always use the same avatar? Of course, if we say that, then she probably will stop using the same avatar.
Changes it.
Yeah, I saw it. Joneson, are you still having issues with your audio, babe?
No, babe, I'm just cutting my dog's hair.
Okay. Oh, so Tracy says someone continually asks me for Cash Apps, wondering if it's the same person. I've gotten a couple of those, but they've been different people, so I don't know.
Tristan's getting a haircut today.
Yeah.
Are you going to come here and are you going to come do Mason when you're done with
Tristan. Oh my god, he takes like 2 hours.
Oh, Mason's really super. Like Mason loves.
Oh
to be groomed.
really? No, mine hopes it.
Oh god, yes. Like Mason, if you pull out the brush, he will come and lay
Oh,
at your feet, and like he loves to be
yeah,
cleaned.
that'd be totally easier if Tristan was that way, but I have to fight him the whole way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But it's so hot. Him
I'll,
needs a haircut.
I'll trade you a Tristan for a grandma because she's fighting everything the whole way.
Oh,
How's she doing
Grandma's been
today?
showing out, huh?
You guys, last night I got the call at 9:30 while we were on panel. Grandma got into a fight with the nursing staff.
Yeah, I remember that. How did it go after that?
Well,
After you did you call him back?
3 calls to 2 doctors on a holiday weekend on a Friday night, and it being 4th of July. Yeah, we're still waiting for doctors to call back.
Thank you for
She
letting me
just
know.
needs to slow down and just accept that life's gonna be a little bit different, but there's none of that. Like, we are still in denial that anything's even happened. So, today is not my day to care. I took today
You're gonna
off.
let it go today, right?
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
let
Yes,
it,
ma'am.
yeah, like water
I'm
off a duck's back.
we're gonna let grandma just do her thing today, and either she's gonna get over it or she's gonna even be more pissed off. I'm gonna go out. I was supposed to be up on the mountain this morning at like 6 for a 5K, but I'm gonna go out to the walking path and do my portion of the 5K because there was a half marathon for our Out of the Darkness and Into the Bighorns Fun Run was today, and I couldn't be in both places. So I'm gonna go out this afternoon and I can get it done in about 2 hours. So that's my plan this
Oh,
evening is to go do that. And then the 4th, we'll do a parade. We'll be in the parade over in Cody. So I got a little bit of fun, but I got a lot of bullshit. So but we're not caring about it today, right?
right, letting it go. So, Angel put in the back chat the Holler Back Girls link, and
Ooh, thank you.
what I see with that is there are 7 subscribers on this channel that has no videos. So typically what that means is she's been caught as a troll elsewhere. And so a mod or even the channel creator starts following her to see if they change their name or become a
Right.
different type of troll. So that's not looking too good, is it?
Or it's her other alts that she's liked with that account.
Yeah. Man, oh man. I prefer to be side-eyed.
Have you guys talked about the new update to StreamYard?
Yeah, that's really nice to be able to chat from your phone.
I can do it from my computer now, right here in the comments. It's amazing. I'm so excited about this stuff.
No. Okay, so Tracy said that's not the one that's sending her Cash App request. That's good to know, but it's just a great reminder for all of us to be vigilant because there are people. So we've seen that Burden of Proof was talking about it last night. She had to have mods come into her, or she had to put mods on her Facebook group because people were coming in and scamming, and she's sharing real cases. She's very ethical with what she puts out. She's very, diligent in making sure that she's staying as close to the facts as possible and sharing out, missing people and other cases as well. And she had people coming into her group trying to scam. I've seen it where scammers on Facebook will take a missing person's flyer, copy it, then add like their information, pretend that they're that loved one of the missing person, start GoFundMe's, things like that. So we have to be extremely diligent with who we're giving our money to. It's
Oh, what
just
about the ones, Deets, that go in and try to say that they're a professional search organization that will help the families, and then the families pour money into that individual, and then nothing ever comes out of it?
yeah. Oh, okay, here's another cash out. Let me write this one down. I'm gonna check mine later and see if that's the person that requested from me, but I don't know if it is or not. Yeah, these changes to YouTube, they're they're frustrating. Everybody having to switch between top and live chat.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Yeah. No, I don't either, Blunt B, and I hate that because whenever I reply to y'all in here on StreamYard, I don't have the emojis. It's frustrating. Yeah, they are, Trev. Their Facebook yard sale and local pages are bad right now for missing persons
Yep.
scams. They really are. And I'm
That's
with
what I
you.
was.
We all need to be lifting burden of proof up and thinking of her. Let me grab her link too. If you're not subbed up to Burden, which let me check while I'm over here grabbing this link, see if she monetized. We're trying to get her to monetize.
Poor Burden. She said that she the other day when I was in there and we were talking, and she was talking about she felt like she had the creator's equivalent to writer's block. I'm like, yeah, it's called creator's block. It happens.
Yeah, it
And
happens to a lot of
it
us.
happens to a lot of us, and you just have to ride the wave through it. You know, I said, don't be hard on yourself. Just do what you can feel like you can do. I'm currently struggling with that myself. Like, I know there's a ton of things that I need to get done, but I don't even want to focus on any of that. I'd rather, sit outside and listen to birds chirp. So I get it. But I think
You
what
get
Burden
kind of
does.
stuck.
Go ahead.
You get stuck in the things and all the, like what we were discussing with Chasing when she's up here. It becomes about that. And then you have to take your time away from,
Yep.
she has to take her time away from whatever case she was looking into and planning on sharing and focus on all of this side drama. And it does become exhausting and you want to set it down and walk away from it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kathy P, I can help you.
I don't know the intricacies of whatever happened when she was known as quote unquote Kelly Fustos before she became Brock. But the extent to where I go is just informing everyone. And that's like the end of the line for me, because what else can I do?
Right.
And that's like you're doing all of your due diligence. You can't help, Angel, you can't help if you call a scammer out and then they go dark on that profile. There's nothing you can do to prevent that, but by making somebody aware of the way she scams, in my opinion, that is invaluable. Because if somebody else picks up on that pattern, that's how it's going to get tipped off that this is somebody that's a scammer, not legit out here.
And with that manipulation of her victims, don't tell or else, who knows how many that there are that they're just afraid to say.
Yeah. So if that story sounds familiar to anyone, if you've gotten emails and like Angel said, it kind of ends in if you don't help, I'm going to do this, horrible, I'm going to commit suicide. I say the words up here. If the email ends in that narrative or it goes down that line, it's a strong possibility that you're dealing with this individual and it's not legit. So just be aware. Just be aware.
Patterns are so telling, you guys. Just if somebody like that comes onto your radar, just take down all of the information and then make sure you share it. There's a proper way to share it versus just, clicking go live and there's a proper way to do it. Make sure that you've protected yourself, and I don't care what you do to the scammer, but just make sure that you protect yourself and do it the right way. And then we'll have one less scammer in the community.
I'm told she begins to expect reoccurring payments from people and doesn't say thank you after a few. Ooh, that's like she's expects reoccurring payments? What?
Oh my God, I call that the MGLs. She got a case of the MGLs.
Yeah, if you've helped her previously, she'll come back to you, typically like 6 months later, and it will be, I'm so glad that you helped me, and I hate to ask you again, but now, here I am in this situation, and you were so nice before, and you were so generous, and I hate reaching out to you again. The whole thing.
Oh God, I hate people like that.
Yeah.
That's insane. Button Kate. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, she still hasn't monetized, but we're gonna get after her. It's very the reason we want Burden of Proof to monetize is because her content is great. She's doing a great thing. She's sticking with facts and not misinformation, and her videos aren't getting the views that they should be. And I
Right.
think a lot of that has to do with her not being monetized because YouTube won't push out your content if they're not making money.
No matter how much we share it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know, Burden of Proof, she doesn't get into any of the bullshit. She also, her reporting style is super ethical. Oh, you know, she doesn't get into the misinformation, the speculation. She brings you the readily available facts so that then you have the ability to go dig in. She gives you the most amazing base layer if you dig into one of the cases she's covered. I've done a couple of them just because I've sat back and listened to what she had to say. I
Yeah.
really appreciate Burden. I don't talk over there a lot because that's I'm always afraid I'd bring shit to her doorstep, so I don't talk a lot, but I watch everything.
Sorry, I was just grabbing that link again. Oh, my grandma Sherry's already on top of it. She always beats me to the punch. That is one thing I just can't lying to get money, especially how hard. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are in a huge financial crunch right now. And so scammers are working overtime because of that. And they feed off of people's generosity and
But to do it under Summer's name is the.
yeah.
That's.
How is she doing
That's
it
what's wrong.
under just because she's going into chats and creators that are engaging about Summer, or is she like saying things that
She's exceptionally good at researching. Like, she's very skilled at that. And so when she approaches you, she seems kind of like a valuable resource for you, you know, for research purposes. And so she gets in, and then you don't think anything is wrong. You know what? You think she's your friend, and we've stumbled upon hard times. And you know, I thought that she was a good person.
I'm sorry, but there's nobody on YouTube that's going to be that good of a researcher. If you're that good of a researcher, go offer your skills to the FBI, to local law enforcement. Go offer your skills to be paid somewhere professionally for what you're doing. There's no person on the internet. Sorry, it's just not going to happen. Like, let's stop and think about Summer Wells's case. Look at this. We got lips out here claiming, "Oh, I might have all of I'm the only person that has information to tell you what happened to this missing little girl." Well, here we are 2 years later. Where's that information? Look at Don Wells has been fired effectively twice from employment because of YouTube bullshit. Now his parole officer has been called again. For what reason? To make his life a living hell.
I just learned about that last night that Betty admitted to calling his parole officer. That's crazy. She's good at researching at scams. Yeah, that's not so clever. I'm with you, Sarah.
Well, she's been doing it for so long, years, and has never been caught. And now she's been caught, and I don't know if I don't know if enough time had gone by since this began before Summer went missing, that she was just like sloppy or comfortable in what she was doing, or what. I have zero idea on how whatever the intricacies were when Kelly was floating around in Discord with Jody Sue and Penny and all of them. I wasn't there. I don't know.
I was going to answer Crime's question. What does she have to do with Penny? She was in her Discord at one point. And then Fizzle wants to know, what is the time frame she was around you?
She showed up the end of March of last year.
March of 22.
Mm-hmm.
That he called White Boy Lockdowns PO2. Y'all be doing too much.
Well, I just watched where Betty's mom thought that a ghost came into her house, and so, like, whatever. These people, like, Betty, those are probably the ghosts of the victims that you've just smeared and smarmed out here. Good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor.
I don't know. Some people have thoughts on ghosts and things like that. So, Sassy, I don't know if she can answer that. If she, I don't know if they were friends or not. I know she was in that Discord. But yeah, I'm with Nicole. That's a long time that she was around you, like well over a year, Angel. That's
Well, no, she came at the end of March, and then it was at the end of April into June. Something was kind of off, and then it was in July that the person that she scammed in my chat told me that she had begun scamming her in April. So a couple weeks after she showed up on my channel, she already had picked her target and as Brock. And it wasn't until after, my member told me that this was happening that I kind of fell into this, because I wasn't going to have that. I was not going to have that.
Oh,
No
look at
way.
Fizzle. Fizzle says, see, I thought she'd been caught and left.
Mm-hmm.
So did you call her out before?
Oh, yeah, I have been since last July.
Oh, my.
So you've been calling this scammer out for a year while
Yes.
she's still effectively attempting to scam people in the community?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
This woman has cojones.
No, Spudler. They're just going to move on to the next case. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Does she tend to pick the people that she targets with the emails and stuff? Is it people that tend to give you super chats, or
I barely get any anyway. But no, like I say, I believe that she floats and sits in the chat and looks to see who seems to be the most easy to manipulate. I don't know how she determines that, but that's...
They're asking if you can show the picture again.
yeah,
Please.
her face or her. I'll show both. Let me see. Where was that? Let me get to this one.
I know, Suzanne. A lot of people came here exactly with the same thing that you did, because it's a missing little girl, not for the parents, not for anything else, not for the scamming, not for any of that. They just came for it.
Like a very up until 2000, and they're up until 2016, they seemed like...
I can't remember where. And so there's that picture of who she is, and then here is the avatar, which
she travels in circles, in American University.
it does look like Valoma's avatar, but as we could tell from her actual self, that's not Valoma. But I have seen that avatar around. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I remember it because the cowgirl hat.
The cowgirl on the hat.
Oh, has she? Oh no. Okay, so here is, I just want to show you guys the proof that Angel has.
You guys used to hang out over in Jim Terry's a lot. So if you watched him, you probably saw her over there.
Oops. Sorry, it just started playing on its own. Let me get the timestamp. 38:20.
Yeah, I had someone forward me that email from her and gave me permission to pull it up on the screen, but not their name.
Right.
But that the context of that email is the same story. It's the same thing every time.
Okay, so the email says, "Hello, sorry I haven't been around. I have found myself in the most horrible situation. I need help. I don't want to get into all of it because it's been the most embarrassing time for me, but I will say I've been displaced and living out of my vehicle. I haven't been speaking to anyone, and I thought I could fix this all on my own. It's been this way for months, since mid April now, and things have progressed rapidly after losing my job. Even if I can, a little help to get into a hotel for a few nights and a little to eat so I can try to regroup and figure this out. I have no resources for shelter or to even eat. It's that bad. If you could help in any way, I would be so grateful. I have heard that in chats, guys. I've heard those exact things
It's
in
the same
chats.
story
I'm
every
trying to
time.
Oh
remember.
my God.
It was someone with like a purple avatar at the time. Anyway, I will pay you back. I just can't promise you when. I just know I need to get into somewhat of a safe place. I have tried to call around for help with no success. The situation is embarrassing. As cruel as online can be, I hope you keep this to yourself. Thank you for that. I hope this all makes sense. I've been crying and I am crying as I am writing this email. So that's kind of what, and then she even shares her Cash App with that lady.
Yeah, I blocked it out. And her
Good.
location, I blocked that out too, even though everyone I probably already knows. Because I was like, I don't want to share a Cash App for a scammer.
No, exactly. And so if you guys are getting emails like that or you hear something like that, just be aware that it's possibly someone who isn't being honest or have good intentions.
Yep. And if you so see this email was written at 1:00 in the morning, the first one. And of course the person she's emailing is not awake. And so she'll just email and email and email. And the more emails she sends you, the more dire her situation becomes until you respond.
There's actually some big channels out there that do that, but with like bigger creator scammers and stuff. But yeah, some of these ones that are taking place in the chats and things. The drama coverage and grifting off of Summer's name is so sad. Many people should be ashamed of it. You know?
That right there, that's my situation. That's my problem. Yes, it's not a direct involvement in looking at what happened to Summer, but it's the use of her going missing that then is leading them to thousands and thousands of dollars of basically free money through Cash App.
That's what I was thinking of, Lip Block. That's exactly where I seen it. But it was a long time ago.
Now this person that she's emailing here, obviously the next day when that person wakes up, writes back and says, I have a number of friends in the area where Brock, Kelly Fustos, lives. And Brock said that she didn't want, like she had zero interest in connecting with anybody local for help.
Mm-hmm. So she didn't want to take.
She just wanted the Cash App.
Wow. So this is okay. That's all that you show there is that email.
Yeah, because there's a page too that there was a place that I missed a redaction.
Oh, well, that's smart not to share that. Yeah, and Pearl, it happens to the best of it. Over 40 years, I thought I was a good judge of character. Prided myself on spotting odd ones, but the last year on YouTube has shown me I'm as easy a mark as anyone. It's a bit of shock. We all are. We all are.
Mm-hmm.
Any of us can be too. And if you think that it's not going to happen to you, or that you can't have the wool pulled over your eyes, then you're probably a little naive and or delusional, because it can happen to anyone. Yeah, just another one too. Just another scammer out here on these streets. Wow. What is going on here? Are we paying for lap dances? Oh, Papa Jet. Snatch a knot in your heart. Yeah, don't
Lap
let
dances, they better be damn sturdy. Those laps better be damn sturdy, because I'm a heavy girl.
Oh, Andrew says that's a great point. He says, I think that scammers assume subscribers of grifters are easy marks. That's a good possibility. That's a good possibility. Wow. Person I saw looks way younger, but with the same avatar, Glory said. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to put it, like I said, be careful. It's not like every holler back girl that you see or every Brock that you see is possibly this lady, but just be aware of your pocketbooks and not just that, your heart and your emotions. Like, I can hear Angel, being sad and upset about all this because it affects you mentally. And
Do you still have that video pulled up?
Which one? I got them all up.
Mine.
Yeah.
Okay, if you go to 1930, I have a screenshot that I took out of Scott H's video. And if you watch a replay, the names in the chat are different. Like whatever is in the chat is going to be like what they are right now. And so when someone pulls a comment up on the screen, it shows who they were at the time.
Yeah,
of the recording of the video.
That's I've caught a couple.
So you see on the screen, it's Kelly Fustos Protect Our Children, and then over,
it's
there you go.
Yeah, that was actually one way we were able to. It's really interesting sometimes when you go back through old lives and you see what people have changed their names to. I really like it when the creators put the chat up on the screen because then the side chat will be different and you can catch them that way. I don't know if you guys can all see that. Where over here it's holler back with, is that a black heart?
I think it used to be some emoji that might have been gotten rid of.
Yeah, it's on both sides, and then she has like a little girl in. I don't know if I can zoom in on this.
That's the account that I sent you the link to.
Yeah. I have that one, so I'll go ahead and share it because it'll be bigger. The account you sent me to. With that proof of there being the actual connection to the person, I don't mind sharing. Yeah. So here is what that account looks like. It's like black squares, I guess. And so it's a little girl in a pink dress. I guess it seems innocent. And yes, I did just subscribe to her because I want to find out like if she that's subscribe to the trolls and find out if they're showing up here, there, everywhere. But you see how Protect Our Children, holler back girl over here was actually Kelly.
If you scooch forward just a couple seconds, I actually pull up a screenshot from the same thing where in the chat on the screen on next to Scott H there, it will show her. See at the here, God bless you, children first. Yeah.
Oh, see, this is the kind of shit that really makes me angry because she's doing it in the name of children.
In Summer's name. Only Summer. Only Summer.
Well, she might be in some other communities. We just don't know.
Yeah, that one that you were just hovering over, that's a screenshot from a live stream on my channel where she was at under Brock in the chat.
Do we have any idea how much money she scammed?
See her there?
Okay, now I know exactly who you're talking about with that black hat.
Yes,
I have seen her.
that is Kelly Fustos, is Hollerback Girl, is God knows whoever else.
Now, how did you, I see how the Hollerback Girl connection comes. How did you connect Brock again?
The Cash App.
The Cash App.
I searched for Brock's email address that I gave you, and it came back to the Kelly Fustos Cash App. Brock's email is connected to Kelly Fustos' Cash App. I mean,
wow.
How much money has she scammed? I don't know.
Tons. I know of.
You know people who specifically gave her money?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When I started talking about this last year, there were people who came to me privately and was like, this happened to me. And that's when I became really concerned about it. And like I say, I had I had come upon those videos and I was watching her talking and hearing her talking, and I know it's her talking. And like you say, okay, I need something to connect it. Well, if the Cash App is under Kelly Fustos' name, but Brock's email address, does that mean that Brock and Kelly Fustos are working together, or aren't they? Would they be? I mean, you know what I mean? What's the What's
see
the
what you're saying.
chances? What's the chances that Brock has the same Cash App as Kelly Fustos?
Something suspicious is going on there too. And Rowena, you're absolutely right. We become hardened, and we don't want to help others when we are taken advantage of by people like this. That's so true. So true. She's the YouTube version of the homeless guy collecting change, rolling out the bins, heading to his condo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop.
So, like I said, I don't know the fake bed stuff. I don't know. My only concern is, hey, look at this person. Don't fall for this, because there's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that people have lost because of her.
Well, and I agree. It's the same person, just a little bit different scam under each name.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't it ironic? It's always the Cash App or the PayPal that busts them out.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know too, Soup. Why are there so many?
Well, look at this, for example, the blackmailing into being quiet. We probably don't want to know how many there are. It would probably be very upsetting.
And that's what you're supposed to do. I don't like to let my left hand know what my right hand's doing when I give. When I give after I've done what I felt led to do and gave, then I move on. But I do think it is smart to call out people who are being taken advantage of so that they can protect themselves moving forward. It's not right. If they put this energy, if they were to just put this energy into something else, anything else, can you imagine what they would be capable of?
Into gainful
Good
employment.
things, yeah.
They could change the world for a company.
She scammed a person for $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
One of them.
Oh my goodness.
Another one, I think, was at about 5,000.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dang.
This is Angel Talks Too Fast up here with us.
Mm-hmm. Let me grab.
So you're telling me 2 people and $7,000?
Yeah, and then there's, let's see, 2,
Panel, if you guys
4 others maybe. I don't know the dollar amount on the rest of them, because there were 2. It must be a lot, because they were all really embarrassed to tell.
Well, I understand that. And Grain, you're absolutely right. When you offer to pay something directly, Uber eat them, get them a hotel directly, then it just somehow changes a little bit, doesn't it? And that's a huge clue. That's a huge clue that, okay, I probably shouldn't spend my money on this. I think you're right. The true crime community is very vulnerable due to empathy, general age range, and gender. Most of us are very empathetic, which is a big target. Yeah, I mean, look at what stuff with Ziggy and Cindy, all that stuff. It's very easy. Yeah, they could move mountains.
The toxic parasocial relationships.
And it's really frustrating as being a creator when you have somebody like this show up in your chat and on your channel, and you have no idea like what their real character is.
Right.
And they're moving around the community, and people know that they're a mod on your channel, and then if they go and do some kind of bad behavior, it will look bad on you because you have them as a mod. You know what yeah.
Kiko, that's why I've heard so many creators, subs make this suggestion, and it's so true. Be careful what you share out there. in chats as well as up here as a creator, but especially subs in the chats, because you don't know who's watching and what they think. You know, they might hear you sharing a story and think, ooh, that's someone I can take advantage of. So be very, very careful. I know.
She convinced another person to give her their credit card information.
Mhm. She convinced another person to give her her credit card information?
Yep.
And she used their credit. So
Yep.
have these people turned this stuff into law enforcement?
That's going to be my next question.
Only one of them that I know.
Well, everybody needs to go make a local report, a report with their local police department before anything else can happen.
Yeah, all those that were affected, they absolutely need to be filed.
And that's really, if you want to get her stopped, that's the first step. Everybody needs to go to their local law enforcement that's been scammed by her, whether it was $1 or $1,000 or $1,000,000. You go and you file a police report locally. You then call her police department and you file a police report with them referencing your police report number. Then, Deets, do you want me to continue or do you want me to shut up?
No, you go right ahead.
Okay. Then you contact their state's attorney general. You contact your state's attorney general. You
No,
also
she's talking. Sorry, real quick. She's talking about the people who were directly affected by
Correct.
this. Then we're not telling all of you guys to go do this. This is the
No.
people that were directly scammed by this individual.
Correct. And then you also go out and you fill out the internet crimes form, the IC. I always get it mixed up. I think it's an ICD-9, but I could be wrong because I get that one. I get the letters mixed up. So you do have them do that report, and then Attorney General and Secretary of State is the other one that you file with your Secretary of State, their Secretary of State. And all of this stuff is available out on your state websites, like wyoming.gov or colorado.gov or montana.gov. That's where you're going to find a lot of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Papa Jones, yes. Although I put Mr. Pibb slightly higher, but yes, Dr. Pepper, touched by the hand of God. Gabby, that's what I want to know. Like, do not give your credit card information to anyone on here, you guys. Please, please, please don't do that. And then Birdie had a question that I'm curious about too, Angel. Did that lady only do it in private discords, or did she ever ask for money? Well, I think it was emails too. I know she did.
It was emails.
But did she ever ask for money openly in chats?
No.
Well,
never.
see, I that one lady, and Liplock remembered her too. There was a lady that came in to Ziggy's and possibly even Tiffany's at one time saying those things. Pretty sure Mods timed them out pretty quick, but it was a very similar story. And it's been a while, but I mean,
no, she was. I mean, I have had a Discord. I set it up like, I don't know, last April or something, but I never really used it a whole lot, just with a handful of people. And yes, Brock was in there, but no scamming was happening like in that Discord. It was like an offline deal between Kelly and then my member, like away from where I could, so I couldn't see it. It was all done privately.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to emphasize, Eliza, that we're not telling other people to do this, just the ones that were directly affected for sure.
And all it is making a report. Because what you're all going to need to do is be able to reference your police reports, and then everybody can cross-reference. Like if it's persons A, B, C, and D, and they all live in different states, A, B, C, and D can share their police reports, and it all references like the same situation. Does that make sense? I'm not saying
like a paper trail.
Right. It causes a paper trail. So then it shows where this person, like somewhere out there in the system, then there's a paper trail for it. And I'm not saying for every person. I'm saying for anybody that was directly scammed. If that's what if they're so choosing to want some sort of a leg to stand on, that's the process you have to go through. And you might only get that process as your resolution, but that's still better. That's still, Eliza,
I think you're right,
don't
Madness.
take my words so literal. God.
What happened?
Oh, she's out here nitpicking. Voices said to make a report for $1. That's a waste of resources. It was.
No, I wouldn't make a report over $1. I think she was just, generalizing that.
I was
If you're
generalizing a statement.
yeah,
I'm
if
sorry.
you're
I'm sorry that
scammed
you guys
by
are
these
so
people-
literal.
If you're scammed by these people, then yeah, absolutely call that in, turn that in, do something with it. But no, I wouldn't personally make a report over $1 either. It is out of control. Oh man, I've been complaining about rain lip lock for 2 weeks. All the people I talk to behind the scenes, they've heard me complain about the lack of rain. We haven't gotten any, and they've been getting all the rain. And finally, yesterday and last night, got a half an inch in my rain gauge. I was so happy. Finally, after 2 stinking weeks.
How much did you get in your rain gauge?
A half an inch, like a half an inch of rain. And then it's supposed to rain again this evening.
Oh, well, put it this way. You guys should have like 2 weeks of rain coming at you guys.
I hope.
Because we just got done with 15 days of rain. This is our third sunny day. The rest of that, it rained, and we live in a high plains desert. Like, we're so green. We're in rainy season, and it's coming up on the 4th of July. They're allowing all the towns are opening up the ability to do fireworks because we're not under a burn ban right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even this little town that I live in that's never in 40 years allowed fireworks, they're allowing fireworks starting noon on the 4th.
Mm-hmm. I want to address this because I think it's a perfect example of what happens so often, what Chasing and I were talking about earlier, and what happens not just on YouTube, but in our own personal lives through text message and what people say. Like, I didn't read Eliza's comment as something negative, but for some reason, Voices obviously did and got a little defensive about it. It's hard to read tone in text, and it's hard to fully understand all of what they're trying to get out in that text. And you guys only have, a small amount that you're able to type out anyway. So I think like when that happens, and it happens, I know that it does happen frequently for Voices too. Like people,
Well,
come
Deets, that
at
was
her
the
for
third
various
time that she had
things.
typed it in the chat.
And
I'd ignored it the other two times. That was the third time that she had typed it. Don't waste police resources. Voices is telling people to waste police resources.
well, but I do think that it's good to remember that not everybody is coming at you as an attack. It's just, if I were to say to you, Voices, I don't suggest you recommend to people to, waste police resources. You're going to hear that and think, oh yeah, she's not attacking me. It's hard to.
But I'm still going to tell you, it's still your right. And it's not anybody else's right to tell you not to waste police resources. If you feel like you've had a crime committed against you, it's your right to file a report. Period. The end. It's not up to anybody else to tell somebody, don't waste police resources. That's not right. So
Well, I
either
do think it is
way,
smart to remind people though, because there have been a lot of people out here on these streets wasting, and you've seen it. We've talked about it, and over at Queens and things like that. There are people who are wasting police resources, but if someone's scamming you, yeah, that's not a waste of resources, because if they're doing it to one person, chances are they're doing it to multiple people. And as Angel's uncovered here, I mean, we're over $7,000-8,000 potentially.
Oh, far above that, I'm certain.
That was just 2 of the 4 or 5 that you talked about. So the potential of multiple other people being scammed, it could be way higher. So yeah,
because in order to do those other steps, in order to do those other steps, you have to have a police report number. You need to have a
Yeah.
police report number.
You need to have
So
that.
that's why if you're gonna like, that's the first step to do, and then you go on to the other steps, but it's all gonna go off of your police number. That's why it's important. So I'm sorry that somebody thinks that me, I get your reminder, don't waste it. But in the end, that would be like saying you and your neighbor having a disagreement about a property line, and your local people telling you, oh, don't waste the police resources, handle it between the two of you. And the next thing you know, you got a bigger problem, right? It's not anybody else's right. So, and I apologize. I might be a little bit more snippy today than normal. So, just
Right.
it's also
It
been.
happens. Yeah, Tone, you
And
don't
like I
really
said, I felt
know.
like I was being nitpicked at, so.
I don't know that I would go to the police for $1 with the intention of trying to pursue her. But if I was gonna if I just wanted to file a piece of paper, obviously then that's different. If you're just at the police station and you're just here, will you file this away? I don't know.
Sorry, I muted. My daughter just popped in. So,
Lavender oil will help for your puppers with it being fireworks season. Lavender oil, you can put it on the inside of their ear, and on their paw pad. It has the most pores and it'll absorb right in and help calm them right down. You can also use Serenity and Balance by doTERRA if that helps.
yeah. Y'all have been, everybody's kind of got some back and forth in the chat. It's been a rough week around here. Be kind.
You guys, I'm okay.
Everyone
I'm
is
sorry.
okay.
I shouldn't have snapped at Eliza. It's not my panel, not my
Mhm.
place. I'm really sorry. I'm
Mhm.
sorry I took hers as that way. I'm sorry to have disrespected Eliza. I'm sorry to have disrespected Deets. I
Sorry.
apologize. Don't hold it against me. It's been a rough week.
Don't call the police over a disagreement with you. It depends on how far the disagreement goes, right? Oh, baby.
Right, and clearly we aren't talking about $1. We're talking of upwards of $7 grand. Most states, that's a big problem.
But the issue, though, is that these people are giving her the money willingly, and she'll say, "I'll pay you back, but I don't know when." So,
But still, that still gives them a leg to stand on, because it shows, like, that shows intent. And granted, this woman probably doesn't have anything, and they'll never get their money back because she doesn't have anything. If she's fleecing one person to get another one, you know what I mean? And going from one person being fleeced to another person and another person, like, she'll probably never get it. They'll probably never recoup anything because she probably doesn't have a pot to piss in nor a window to throw it out. But
It depends on your location, Captain Obvious, of what the felony amount is. It depends on where and I don't know if it would go off of her location or the person who was scammed location, but the amounts do vary. Yeah, everything you said is different. What are we talking about? We're talking about scammers.
No, Dakota is like got his head under my ass looking for something.
Oh, I'm on mute. It's okay. Our dog is bugging my daughter. Oh my gosh.
he missed her.
He did.
The pupper missed the daughter. I mean,
I tell
it's
you
part
what,
of his pack.
ever since she got pregnant, her dog's name's Archer, and he is like up her butt 24/7, and he lays his head on her belly all the time and things like that. And so, but our dog, he hasn't been like that until here recently. Now he's starting to do that. I think I don't know, do they hear the baby's heartbeat, or maybe just they can, smell the hormone change or
Oh my
something.
God, that's so sweet.
It is. We have some really cute pictures of Archer just laying his head on her belly. It's so sweet. Yeah, that's what I think it is, Akab. I think they can hear the baby's heartbeat. Beet, not beets.
And you also know that they got to be smelling the different hormones.
That's what I'm thinking too. I really do.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pop down. I got a bunch
Yeah,
of stuff to
thank
do.
you,
so-
Angel. That was a lot. I'm still just
Yeah.
kind of trying to process it, but thank you for sharing
Yeah.
all of that with us. And
There's more in there, and if you want me to email you stuff, I can do that. But as far as I'm concerned, as long as I've gotten the attention and people are aware, then I feel like my job's done with this.
yeah, there's her link with all the receipts. She has like everything in there. I was skimming through it earlier and makes a really great connection. So
All right. Well, thanks for letting me come up. I appreciate it.
thank you, Angel.
All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Angel. Was your cat like that, Cappy? Just 24. Now, when you're pregnant with, what is it, kitty litter you can't change when you're pregnant or
Yeah,
something?
you can't do the kitty
Yeah.
litter because of the toxic plasmosis.
We need a virtual baby shower.
I agree.
Aw. Do you have it between two names now, or are you just on one?
I don't.
You know, like they were kind of torn between Crew and Kai.
Ooh, I like them both.
I know, but they were struggling with the middle name.
Well, here's
Struggling.
the test. You go stand on the back porch and you yell the entire name.
She's laughing.
So, like my mom, when she named all of us, she stood on the back porch, and we'll use my deceased sister, Nancy Jeanette Lassiter, get your ass in here. See, that's how you got to do it.
You gotta
So
go
whatever
into
you're gonna name
mom
'em, you gotta
mode
go
and what sounds best when you're telling them
Yep.
what to do.
Yep. So that's why you gotta go to the back door and you gotta yell their whole name out the back door so that it sounds like that's how you figure out which one will fit.
XX country, I am very blessed. I have some amazing kiddos and an amazing hubby. I am very blessed. We're so excited for this. He's hurting you. He's hurting you. She's just now starting to get like a real belly. What are you, halfway through? How many weeks are you now? Over 19. Yeah, so we're halfway there. It's the super exciting part. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been shopping like crazy. By the way, that bag is full of stuff. I was shocked at. I didn't even know Shein had baby clothes, and I thought, okay, I ordered a bunch because I thought they were gonna be junk, and they're actually pretty decent quality. It's Crew with a C. Oh, Kai Alexander, that's cute. That is really cute.
Yep, that's how we always knew how much trouble we were in, was if if they yelled all three names, you just knew you were gonna get it.
A couple of my brothers have two middle names, so my poor mom was yelling like everything. It was a lot.
And you know, Deets, that you become a grandma the first time that you go to yell at the kids and you throw in a dog's name.
True.
That's when you've officially made it as grandma stage. That's what grandma said anyway. Because the first time she went yelling at all us kids, and all of a sudden we got like two dogs' names slipped in there. There were her kids, there were her nieces, I mean, like she went through a list of names one day. I was maybe 12 or 13, and grandma was a young grandma. She was 38 when I was born. So.
Yeah, I love shopping for all the baby things. It's been so much fun. I've been looking through fabric and stuff to make some stuff, and it's just babies. And people are like, baby boys are not fun to buy for. Well, that's a lie nowadays because there is so much cute stuff out there for baby boys.
I saw yesterday when I slipped to go get some lunch. I ran to McDonald's to get lunch while up in Billings. There was a couple and they had a bottle warmer. It's a total, this thing is USB. It charges up and then you got to go find it. It's a portable bottle warmer that holds a charge. And I mean, it takes like 3 minutes. In the time that it took the dad to go up to the kiosk and place the order and come back, the bottle was already warm.
Yeah. I am so shocked at how many things are out there nowadays and how different they are just from, you know, 2
I looked
decades
at
ago when I was buying baby stuff. Things are so they have so much stuff now, and it's so cute and it's so fun.
Oh, Deets, I totally was like, oh my God, that is a big change from warm the bottle up in the microwave,
Mhm.
wrap it in a towel, stick it in a plastic bag, and stick it in the middle of the diaper bag so it
Yeah.
stayed warm.
No, I breastfed. I didn't do the bottle thing, but
Oh, yeah, my
I
mom
I
didn't.
did have a friend who did bottles, and she's like, "I'm not warming that up because then they get used to warm milk." So if they get used to,
Yep.
room temperature milk, then they're okay with it.
Well, and that was like my mom had, like, we gave Similac from a can, a metal can. Like you had to go use the can opener and like
Mhm.
put 2 holes in it. Like that's how long ago, and then fill that can up with 2 cans of water and dump it into the milk jug. Yes, that's how long ago it was.
Cappy, that's what I'm in the process of doing right now is planning her baby shower. When are we gonna try to do it? What did you say, August or September? Somewhere in there. But it is so much fun to plan a baby shower. And I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna have the baby shower and then the her husband's gonna have like a bro shower where they can bring, a case of beer and they have to bring a box of diapers too. Because yeah, you can get so many diapers and then and I've already gotten some. Like every time I order from Sam's Club, I order them a box of diapers too to go with it. And
That's smart, Deez.
I think it was your husband who was like, are we gonna need that many diapers? I'm like, you'll be shocked at how many you go through. You go through
Well,
so
and you
many
can even start
diapers.
getting them the next size up
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been getting.
because,
I've
well,
been
and
getting
same
like
with
three.
clothes. Same
Yeah.
with
Three.
clothes. Start ordering the next size up because you
Mhm.
probably got enough for the newborn, and they grow out of that stuff so fast.
That
Uh,
and I've been doing like the size 3 and 4 diapers because I figured for like the baby showers and stuff, that's most people bring newborns in one. So I've been getting the bigger sizes too. But someone said Jackson. I like Crew Jackson. I think that's a cute name. But I think what was it you like? Crew Grayson?
I don't know
Yeah.
what I like. I give up.
You give up on naming him.
I'm gonna name him when he's out.
There you go. That works too.
sorry about that. When you see his little baby face, you'll know if he's a Crew or if he's a Kai.
Yeah.
You'll just know. When they lay him on your chest and you look at him, you'll just know.
Oh, you do diaper cakes? Those are so cute, Grandma
Oh,
Sherry. And I
yes.
can totally see her doing diaper cakes too. Coda is all over you.
Oh, no,
Oh, I like Ren too.
Ren?
I like Crew.
Who is having my daughter is having the baby. I'm going to be a nana for the first time. We're so excited. We haven't had a baby in our family, like even our extended family, in 15 years. So everybody's really excited for it.
Ooh,
It's the
that's good
first
to know.
grandbaby on both sides. Yeah. And
Uh,
thank you.
Walmart will trade out diapers to trade up for the next size.
Oh,
So
really?
even if she gets a whole bunch of newborns and like she doesn't need them, she can trade them up for the next size.
Oh, that's true. People are always saying I sound like I'm 19 or 20.
No, I'm 19.
Yeah, you sound 12.
You're between that age range, yeah. Do we sound similar? Say something.
Mm-hmm.
Say something.
You're horrible.
You both sound very similar, and she sounds like a younger version of you, which you
Yeah.
sound 12. So what is she, 8?
Right. A co-ed yeah, I think we thought about that, but I think they just want to get together and drink, the guys do. So we're not doing that at our baby shower. No, thank you. Except maybe
Wipes too.
what were
Yeah.
you calling those mocktails for mama? A mimoso? Is that what it was? Yeah. I bought diapers for 9 months. Wow. Brixton? That's cute. That's cute. Oh my goodness.
I
I
like
know,
it.
Queen Bell. That's what I hear. Like, I already love this kid so much. Like, my love for him is so intense already. I can't imagine what it's going to be like once he's here. That's why I struggle with a lot of these cases because when you know how you love your kids and you know this feeling that you have for grandkids is it's even more intensified and it's different and then you hear about these women and the things that they're doing with their kids. It's just so heartbreaking. Oh, good. Oh, nice.
I'm stuck on the name Huxley.
Huxley.
So the next dog I get, their name's going to be Huxley.
Kathy said, I found out I was having a boy the day before my shower, all the decor and all the things, they were pink. So when I found out I was pregnant with her, it was back when they didn't do 2 ultrasounds. Now they do like multiple ultrasounds. How many ultrasounds do you have? 3. We just had 1 in the middle. And when they did her ultrasound, I don't remember if it was the doctor or the tech, they were like, we're pretty sure it's a girl because of these reasonings, but we can't be, 100% accurate. And I don't think it's a boy, but I don't, she was just kind of back and forth. And I'm like, it's a girl, I'm going with it. So I had no clue, but it was like right before I gave birth to her, I was like, oh my gosh, what if she comes out a boy and I've got all these girl things? Because I was like sticking with it. I'm not. Just a voice. My voice just sounds young, I guess.
Sounds like you haven't ever abused your voice like the rest of us have.
No. November.
Probably.
That's when mine's arriving, BL. We're going to be grandmas at the same time. You had your first grandbaby at oh. I'm excited to be a young grandma. This would be so much fun.
Grandma says that being a young grandma is the best.
I hope so.
She was
I
a
don't think
grandma.
I'm young, but I'm not near 60. So.
Right. She was a grandma at 38.
I can tell that, Glory. I can tell that. I warned my husband the other day. I was like, you thought I bought a lot for our kids? Just wait. Just wait.
Does she live close to you?
Kinda.
Okay.
Close enough but we live where an hour's close, like
Right.
we're okay with drives. So yeah.
That's what I was just
right now.
That's what
right
I was
now
just gonna
she's about
say.
25.
Like 2 hours, like for me, 2 hours is close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when Walmart's an hour one way, yeah, 2 hours is I can do that drive, no problem.
An ultrasound a week? Oh my, I hope everything is okay. That's a lot.
Deets, I did 700 miles in 3 days.
Oh my. Yeah. When you live in the boonies, you're okay with, driving.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh my goodness. It takes an hour to get any. I know it's so funny. Like an hour drive here is, 60, 65. Oh, hang on.
It took to go that 12 miles from Billings to Laurel. It took 45 minutes, and then it took another 25 minutes to get from the edge of Billings down to the hospital corridor. So
Sorry.
it's a full 3-hour drive now.
Our dog is so quiet until she gets here, and then he's like, "Ooh, let me scratch and shake and make all the noises and lay on her and all the things." He's so sweet though. I have 3 girls. Oh, that's so sweet. That is so sweet. I'm trying to close out some of these tabs. It's just been going back to the whole week. We were talking about how it's just been such a crazy week, and that was kind of the whole point of this conversation. And everyone feels like we've kind of been through the paces on here, and I just want to remind everyone it's okay to take the breaks. It's definitely okay to step away from all of this. Listening to Burden last night and how she was getting frustrated with her channel and where she wants to go as a creator. We've all been there. We've all gone through that. And if you need to step away for a minute, step away. As you always, yeah, the kids they become
Absolutely.
jealous. Yeah.
If YouTube is starting to detract from your daily life and it's making you feel some type of a way, it's like your responsibility to log off and step back.
Boomer baby, that's what I'm working towards, being like within walking distance of them. But the housing market right now is insane. They're looking to buy their first home because they're in a apartment, but right now it's just so crazy everywhere. It's insane everywhere.
Did you see like when I first got into Billings, there was a new apartment buildings that were built on top of some shops, and I was like, I want to live there. So I took down the information as I went past, came home and sat down and started doing research. The one bedroom start at $2,000 a month. A one bedroom apartment.
She's up there. She's looks like she's getting ready to take a nap, but she's like, yeah, it's great. Yeah, they pay a lot too. It's just, and I thought you guys started looking like just kind of keeping your eye out last year. I thought this bubble's gonna burst, but it hasn't. It hasn't.
Not yet.
It's like
I got three girlfriends. I got 3 girlfriends that are realtors right now, and they are selling, like, houses are staying on the market 5 days. They're the day that they're put on the market, there's an offer on them.
Oh yeah,
right here in my area.
I'll
right now.
constantly send them a house, and within like by the end of the day, a few hours, it's already contingent. It's insane.
Cappy, that was up in Billings. Yeah, not directly where I'm at, but the rents down here where I'm at, if you can find a rental, they're starting at $1,000 right now.
Theirs isn't that high. It's only like 600 but it's just like a 1-bedroom. It's a tiny little 1-bedroom apartment. So something bigger is obviously going to be a lot more. It did go down a little, and I have noticed that some of the listings have started to drop a little bit. So maybe we're getting close to them kind of leveling out, but I don't know. An 800 square foot condo here sold for $325,000. Oh, no laundry.
Oh my goodness.
$2,000 for a small 2-bedroom. Yeah, we actually just sold some land and it went for the same, went way over our asking price because people are just getting into like, bidding wars and stuff. It's just insane.
Yeah, but that's what you want, is for 2 people to get into bidding wars over your property. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah, if you're the seller, sure. If you're the buyer.
If you're the buyer, not really. But if you're the seller, that's exactly what you want.
Mm-hmm. Gloria, I know that's probably best. Sorry, hang on, I got an email. Someone got blocked on my live. I'll look into that afterwards to the person who just sent me that message. But I know they want to kind of try to be settled in before the baby comes, but I don't know if that's going to happen in this climate for sure.
Well, you're super supportive, and that's what matters, Deets.
Oh yeah, always, they're my babies.
Because
Airbnb could be part of the problem.
Well, I grew up with parents that they thought their job was until you were 18. So, and Cappy, that's exactly what we have all said, is that it's all because you're Californians. Your Californians are moving west. Because those are Bozeman prices. Bozeman was always really expensive, but $2,000 for a 1-bedroom in those new, and then just start looking up, like pull up rental, like Trulia or rentalfinder.com or any of them and start looking at the prices on the map for rent. You dig in and you get into any of the management companies and look on their websites, like $1,300 for a 2-bedroom. And that's pretty standard. And that's some of the dumpiest apartments in some of the worst parts of Billings now, because they've taken and they've shut down all the homeless resources, and they've legit pushed all the homeless out of downtown. And so the homeless are now on the edges of downtown, in all of the, like, just there was one guy just sleeping on the street corner, and that I'd never seen in all the years that I'd lived in Billings for 17 years, and then I've been down here another 5. But I mean, legit, I counted 5 people, and I always keep change. I go get 21s, and I always, because I have no problems. I also was trying to see if maybe we had another sighting on Danielle, and I thought maybe I would kind of run through the areas where the homeless are hanging out, the houseless are hanging out. And yeah. Yep. It's really bad up there.
It's bad everywhere. It truly is. And Papa Jones said Jet charges him $8 a month for the chicken coop. I think you're
well,
being
that's not bad.
overcharged. I think you're being Grandma Sherry blocked you because you won the lottery. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it
$8
really
a month
is.
for all the eggs you can eat. Wow.
That's pretty generous.
So I'm gonna say, boy, Cody, you better not be looking that gift chicken in a mouth.
Speaking of homelessness, I want to share this with you guys. I don't know if people watched it, but I want to share this video I just made and this interview that I'm going to have tomorrow. I hope you guys can check in or pop in and check this out. So I'm just going to play this real quick, voices. It's about 15 minutes, so
Hey,
if you want
that's
to
fine.
stay up
That's
here,
fine.
you're welcome to, but I'm
gonna go ahead and hop down and look and listen from chat. Hey, Deets, thanks for letting me come and hang out and
Well,
get a little
thank
bit of
you.
normalcy.
Thank you for hanging out.
I really appreciate it, and congratulations on that baby.
Thank you. We're so excited. I love it.
Be yelling the names from the back porch so you get it right.
I'll ever do that. Go stand off the
Talk to you
patio
soon.
and yell.
Bye.
Bye, voices. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to cover this tomorrow. This is Veli Ray. He's a creator. I shared when I talked about a story about
If you have ever visited Portland, Oregon,
the 6 women that were found around Portland, I found his channel and talked about it. And I've been in conversations with him since, in his live streams, things like that. And we talked about doing an interview. So I'm going to go ahead and play this because this is what we are really going to go over tomorrow.
If you have ever visited Portland, Oregon before, then you know it's an extremely beautiful city. Nestled between 2 rivers, the snow-capped Mount Hood, and Washington State, the city of Portland is the largest city in Oregon, and it's also in the top 30 most populous cities in the United States. Settlements in the region began in the early 1800s by European pioneers, but before that, it was occupied entirely by the Chinook people. First documented by the famous Lewis and Clark, it has grown from a simple port town to a great metropolitan city. It wasn't until the 1990s that the computer-based companies such as Intel began to redefine the area. By the year 2000, the population began to rise very quickly, increasing its gross domestic product by over 50%, fueled by both college students and new technology. Portland has several nicknames: PDX, Rip City, Slump Town, and the most common nickname, the City of Roses. It's affectionately referred to as weird and quirky, and the people like the slogan, "Keep Portland Weird." But in the last 5 to 10 years, Portland has seen a change.
Human tragedy. From above, you can't deny the stark reality. This is what Portland's other epidemic looks like. It spreads across the city into neighborhoods, along streets, alongside highways, next to homes. Unlike COVID, this epidemic has no vaccine or booster, and it's getting worse. This is what it looks like from the ground. Men and women living in makeshift shelters, in tents, under tarps, existing among piles of garbage and filth. Some are living in broken down trailers parked along the street, surrounded by piles of personal belongings, trash, and rats.
They've been coming up underneath the tarp and stuff, and like we can hear them because they crawl on things. Like I didn't know rats were so smart. They're like little ninjas almost.
The rats have now invaded nearby homes. Those living here have seen their neighborhood become a human disaster zone. Needles now litter the sidewalk. They've been threatened by some of the people living on their street. They don't feel safe. It's a health hazard. Their pleas for help ignored.
They've been there for almost 2 years now, and no one has removed them. So I think it's time for them to actually do something about it.
This is what Portland's human tragedy looks like.
But for some people of Portland, doing nothing wasn't the answer. There are several nonprofits, government, and privately funded agencies that are trying to do something about the homeless and drug problem in Portland. But they're not the only ones. Local residents seeing a problem in their community, and they want to make a change. This is the story of one of those residents who saw a problem in his community. He saw these fentanyl camps overtaking his neighborhood, and he decided to do something about it. This is Veli Ray. He hits the streets almost every single day, handing out food that he's cooked himself, toothbrushes, hygiene kits, clothes, bags, and lots of other items that he paid for himself or was given by donation. He's made it his mission to showcase the community he loves so much, the community that he feels has been forgotten by the local government, law enforcement, and some residents. You can often find him on his YouTube channel that goes by the name Veli Ray, where he's showing you what's going on in Southeast Portland, the real problems.
Portland, Oregon, July 28th. How would you like if someone put this in front of your house? Sad.
2023, Portland, Oregon, in real life. These are real life fentanyl camps. Everybody's passed out. And they're smoking fentanyl in the wide open. This is how it goes.
Veli doesn't just meet the people where they are to help them out. He also offers them a solution if they're willing to take it.
So we're talking about you going to rehab soon, whenever you want to make that and you're ready, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe we can do that one of these days, and I gave you my phone number, right?
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
Probably sooner than later.
All right. I can help you, bro. Mm-hmm. I'm the guy to do it. I got people that help me with several different resources, and you can make the choice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm out here doing today.
Some that he has helped into rehab have stayed off the streets and stayed clean. And some have ended up right back in those very streets. But it doesn't matter to Veli because he'll just help them again and again as needed.
Today is April 5th, 2023. I'm with Alex, and he just made a big move on his journey in life today. Where are we at today, Alex? We're at Bybee Lakes Hope Center. And what are we doing today?
Enrolling myself in the addiction treatment. You know, trying to change my life, do better.
There's a lot of people that want you to win, man. You know, there's people from high school that, you know, recognize you, and, you know, we're proud of you making this big move, man. This is awesome. You know, I'm proud of you, man.
But helping them check into rehab, get clean, and stay off the streets isn't the only thing he's done out there. Solely because of showcasing what he does, walking up and down the trails daily on his YouTube channel, he was able to reunite loved ones.
Look at me. Oh, I love you. You're my half of this life. Let me help you. You said nobody's reached out to you. I'm reaching out. I just don't you. I have hours. I get you. Can I help you? You said nobody's here to help you. I'm here. I'm here. I understand you, but I want to help you. You don't have to live this way, I promise. Girl, let me help you. Have I ever done you wrong? Have I always left you? Girl, we used to go to the river, take the babies. You know? Let me help you get well. You don't have to live like this. No. talk to you, I found you. And I'm here. You let me help you. You know what I mean by help? It's get you off the fucking streets. You don't have to live like this, Mama.
But on his YouTube channel, he showcases more than just what he does out there in Southeast Portland. He showcases his cooking, a lot of which he takes to the homeless.
14th, 2022. They got lobster tails on sale at Winco. They're about 5 to 7 ounces, and they're $5 each. Check that out. Salt, pepper, a little bit of Old Bay, a bunch of garlic powder, and some minced garlic, and a bunch of butter. Put on broil for about 8 to 10 minutes.
And sometimes just for himself and his own enjoyment.
There we go.
Or you can find him chilling at home with his dog Jazz. And other videos he does just shows off the beautiful area that he lives in and loves. But for the past month, Belly Ray's been doing something a little different on his channel. He's still walking those paths. He's still taking food to the homeless, to those addicted. He's still trying to get them out of the streets and into rehab. But he's also hunting, boots on the ground hunting. Over the past 3 months, 6 women have been found murdered. Police say their deaths are suspicious. One even ruled a homicide. What do they have in common? They were all found in a short time frame within 100 miles of each other. 5 of them had been missing for quite some time before they were found, their families looking for them. Besides the connection of similar heights, weights, appearances, and where their bodies were found, outside in the woods, another connection these girls all have is the location in which they went missing. They were all last seen in Southeast Portland. So what is Belly hunting for? I'd say he's hunting for answers. He's been pounding the pavement and visiting these camps daily. He's been passing out flyers of the 6 women, his own personal phone number included on them. Because sometimes the people in these fentanyl camps, they don't want to call law enforcement and give tips or say what they know. But they will to someone like Belly. He's received a lot of help in his quest for answers, not just from the people of the camps giving him information, but also people on his YouTube channel sending in donations for these flyers. They're very nice, high-quality flyers, and they're a little pricey. But besides all that, he's also had some of the girls' family members in his chat, as well as joining him on the streets asking questions.
Girls. Seems like everyone knows them over there. What's up?
I'll show you a flyer.
Don't I know you?
I'm Melissa. I'm Kristen's mom.
Oh, look at Kristen's. Hello.
Hello.
Nice. You look just like her. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Where'd you come from?
I come to find you. I'm watching you.
This is awesome. This is Kristen's mom.
Hi, everyone.
The one that passed away.
Yep.
Well,
so here's some more flyers.
Oh, you bought some more flyers?
I got some flyers. We can hand those out.
You're going to have me work it.
Yes, I appreciate you.
You want to hold this for me so I can
Yes.
put them in the thing? You want to show them that picture? What do you got? Is that her?
It's a picture of Kristen. Okay, hold on 1 second. This is it. This is my baby. This is Kristen.
Belly's also ran into other family members.
There?
Yeah.
Did I already meet you?
No, my sister's missing. She's been missing for 8 months. And
Hold on, what?
do you know where they found that body?
I don't.
Top right?
The one, the sketch? I believe in the Lentz area, maybe.
Like water, dry area, or what?
I don't know.
In a dumpster?
Hold on, your sister. What's your name?
Marcelina.
Belly Ray. Nice to meet you. So your sister's missing.
Yeah, she's missing for 8 months. We have missing persons report and everything. The cops won't do nothing. Fucking it sucks.
Wow. Do you have pictures of her and stuff?
Yeah, I do.
Huh,
I have flyers up and everything, bro.
You have flyers?
Yeah, I do. No, I mean, wait.
Okay, kid, listen. I'm gonna give you my personal phone number.
Yeah, please do.
Will you call me and then I'll put up
Who
on
are
my.
you?
I'm Belly Ray.
Yeah, but what do you do?
I'm doing it now. The parents have helped me out here.
He's
My
trying to find
flyers.
I'm worried that this is my sister, dude.
This is my personal phone number, okay? You can text me. Look, I'll be done doing this. Call me anytime from 9 to 10. Text me and tell me where you met me at, and then I'll talk to you or call me and I'll call you right back.
Perfect.
Yeah, put it in there, and then I'll help you, and I'll put up your sister's thing on my YouTube channel.
Yes,
I'll put all her
please do.
pictures up, okay?
Please do. Please do.
I will. I'll help you out. So how long she been missing
8
for?
months.
8 months. What's her
She said
name?
Vicky Diaz. She said she was going to Seattle.
Vicky Diaz.
Yeah, she said she was going to Seattle.
Hold on,
Okay.
someone contact me about her name. Vicky Diaz.
But you didn't.
Are you the one that has? Do you guys have like Facebook and stuff about her?
Hella shit on. Yeah.
And you're her sister.
Yeah, I'm her sister.
Oh yeah, that's the one. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Vicky Diaz. Yeah, I got a I believe Deets from the Streets put that on her channel, I believe. Okay, I can help you. Contact me tonight around 9 or 10, okay?
Yeah, I got you.
Call.
I'm send you a text right now, but
No, don't do it now.
no.
You can do it now. Go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Do it
Sure, I
now.
won't forget.
Do it now. Yeah, do it now.
Okay,
And then
cool.
when I call you, please answer. I'm gonna call you around 9 or 10. And then I'll put up all her photos on my channel.
Yeah.
Okay?
That would help me out a lot.
Because I think I got a message earlier today.
When I posted flyers, dude, from fucking Gresham to the casino, dude, and somebody over by 122nd where she's kick it keeps ripping them down, dude.
That's what was happening.
Guilty as fuck, dude.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Another girl's mom was there. She said that they was ripping down all the flyers.
Yeah, because it's probably the same person, dude. I think she overdosed. I was told she's in her dumpster or she's in the river, dude. That she overdosed, the people got scared, and they dumped her body.
You think that's what's happening with all the girls?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. But I think it's a serial killer, and I think they're trying to fucking like get these bitches that are on drugs and then fucking drug them up and do whatever they want to their bodies and fucking dump it.
And because sometimes you just never know if someone's lying or telling you the truth, we were able to confirm that that was, in fact, Vicky's sister. Since that random encounter, he was able to sit down and have a one-on-one interview. And he has started handing out Vicky Diaz's flyers as well. But it's not always encounters like this. Sometimes there are people who are very agitated with Belly just for asking these questions. And sometimes there's encounters like this one.
More important business to take care of. What the hell? What are you doing? I just had to run. Oh. She just tried to. Oh, she's coming. Zombie.
Don't worry, they got her some water, got her calmed down, and got her help. But that's just one of the things that he has to deal with out there in these encampments. Trying to find these answers, not only for these girls, but also for their loved ones and the entire community. He's also had to deal with some pretty weird calls late at night, rocks being thrown at him from a very suspicious car lot, and other homeless people who are just a little suspicious. A lot of things have been shared with him as he walks up and down this bike path engaging with the homeless and the addicted. A lot of people know several of the girls, and I think he has quite a few theories of his own. So join me as I interview Belly Ray and find out what he thinks about his boots on the ground efforts in Southeast Portland.
Of course, you might like me 60% of the time, but you're gonna hate me 40% of the time. My job is not to make you like me. My job is to show real life in Portland, Oregon. That's it.
So yeah, a little bit different content than what we typically do. He's not a true crime creator at all. There was a couple questions I saw here. Yeah, he's spreading that word out. And then I think that's what it mainly is for him, and we'll go through all that tomorrow, is showcasing where the government is totally lacking in that area. And I agree, Cappy. I too have mixed emotions about that. It's either genuine or it's, exploitative. And I do know for a fact that, he's not a convicted felon. He's never done any of those things or things like that. So, and he's not asking anything at all of the people he encounters. He's got a really interesting story that I think others might find interesting as well. No, and there's been some that he's helped get into rehab, and he has direct links to a couple different resources to get them in quicker than they might be able to themselves just going and signing up. And one guy that he helped get into rehab was back on the streets within 3 or 4 days. And that happens frequently. But then there's the couples, a few that have made it through all the way, and then his subs on his channel help support them and stuff. So it absolutely, it's a mixed bag of emotions, right? Because you have some where it doesn't work out, and then you do have some success stories for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of channels out there doing it. And I'm going to interview him tomorrow. It'll be at 12 Central Time. I'm going to set a live after this live so that people can click like the notify me now. Oh, thank you, Fairy. So, also, welcome. I saw Mara. Thank you for joining, love. Girl. Yeah, there needs to be a better. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, and I think that that's a big part of the problem. Is a lot of people don't know what the answer is, and you have billions and billions of dollars. The city of Portland sinking billions of dollars, and what they're really doing is putting a band-aid on the situation. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on over in Ohio. Yeah, Tassie's over there a lot. Thank you. It's a little different. Addiction is a disease. We need to, yeah, we do need more mental health care. Yeah, fentanyl is an issue across the country. Across the country. Portland was a beautiful city just 5 years ago. Now the homeless camps are everywhere, even in the middle of downtown. Yeah, and they come and they try to clean them out and move them out, and then even later that day, it's back again. And no, you're right. Not all are like that, and you have every right to be skeptical of creators that do that type of content. I know I am. Have been. Yeah. Thank you, Steffi. Thank you. Yeah, there's a very suspicious car lot, and I think we'll get into that. But we have to remember, he's not a true crime guy. He doesn't follow the rules of true crime or those sorts of things. And a lot of stuff is obviously theories, So we have to remember that, and that's hard for me too. Mhm. Yeah, he's putting in the time and like a lot of time and effort. A lot of these guys won't talk to a lot of these people that he encounter will not talk to law enforcement, but they'll talk to, the person that's been out there for a year and a half, even prior to that, helping them in other ways. But you do have to remember that people lie to just lie sometimes. So it's a lot to sift through. I'll go over it tomorrow. He's even given a bone. Like, it's just crazy situations. Thank you, Mauro. I agree. I truly agree. Thank you, Crystal. You think, Willow, that it's all political? I know a lot of people have that opinion. Yeah. I agree, Eliza. Thanks, Chronicles. I think it'll be good. We're gonna hear about just him too. Go into who he is and what he's doing prior to the case, and then we're gonna go into the case and stuff too. So we're gonna kind of cover it all. It'll be tomorrow. I will, after this live, I'll schedule it so you guys will be able to go and hit the notification. Yeah, that's tough. And he always has like a good attitude about it. And sometimes though, he's really blunt and aggressive with some of them. And people come in the chat and they're really turned off by it, but he has a method to his madness. No, I don't think they did. I don't think they did. That's a lot of people, local like residents that are sick of this. there's like a clash happening out there, right? You got the homeless people and those addicted and afflicted in that manner clashing with the residents who are paying for their homes and their property taxes and all the things, and they're both frustrated with each other for various reasons, some of them valid. And so then you have this huge clash happening, and one local said, we're all done. They're done, we're done, everyone's done. But no one's helping. Like, not no one, because there are people out there helping, but like the government is not helping. They're not stepping in. They're taking billions and billions of dollars that are supposed to be directed towards this. And all that happens is people come in and disable the camp, move it, but it pops right back up. They're not getting to the root of the problem and helping at the core of the problem. Yes, this is powder that they smoke. It's different. It's sad. It's so sad. Like, seeing how far the homeless situation in our country has progressed. I remember you just growing up and traveling, I used to only see it in New York City and LA, like the big homeless problem. But now, within the last 10 years, you see it in every city. Every city. Yeah, some do. It becomes an issue in getting in and getting the help. And then that becomes another issue too, is once you create these shelters, they get turned into drug houses. I don't know. Uh-oh, who posted about summer? That was vile. Is it gonna frustrate me? Yeah, he does. He truly, truly does. That's good, small wildflowers. I'm glad that they're doing that. Fuchsia says, I think it's easy for us all to judge these people, myself included, until we get to see this for ourselves and see how badly off these people are. Yes, it's a choice they made. Addiction is horrible. It's bad out there. We got to take care of our own. Yeah. It's sad though because many don't want help. Yeah, I see that daily in his streams. They don't want the help. They don't, he's offering them all these things and they're just like, no, I'm not ready for that. And do not want housing, especially in areas like LA where resources for living are available and the climate is comfortable. Some don't. You almost now I'm curious. Oh, let me see. I need to get going though, but let me see if my timeline says anything. Hopefully it's not someone I follow. It was a post. I'm on my computer. I don't think community tabs, they don't tend to pop up when I search that way. Let me see. Everyone takes yeah. And some of the stories, it's a lot. And people don't end up homeless, not necessarily in all the ways we think they're going to. I'm good at this creator with an alphabet name. Oh, I don't. If you're talking about JLR, I don't actually follow him. I'd have to look him up. Was it something he said? I recently had to try to get help for a friend of mine. No, it's not. Tracy was sharing her story the other day of her friend who's homeless and addicted to I can't remember what it was she was addicted to, but addicted to some drug, and all the things that she would do for those drugs. He says Don Wells is the prime suspect in the disappearance of his little girl, Summer Wells. Well, that's funny because it's not Jailer. Well, he's made one too. Just tell me who it is. Yep, I'll go look them up. And you can delete it right after you post it if you want to. But no one's been named a prime suspect. People, what the crap? Authorities are building a case against him. Are they? Do we know that? Do we know that? Goodness gracious. I never had someone come to my door and say, let me help you build a home a better way. But if I did, yeah. I think they're also, skeptical because of the situations that they've been in throughout their life, and that's why they don't accept the help. Maybe. Okay. What did he post? Oh, see, I don't, no, I don't like that either. I don't like attaching Summer's name to that. That's so gross. I'm not even going to share that. That's so gross. I know that it's, just don't put her name on that stuff. All right, y'all. I gotta head out. We are headed to our party to meet Little Red. Well, we've met her, but go celebrate her. That's what I call her. Yeah. Sorry, I was looking up at my daughter. She looked at me like, who? All right, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I will. Yeah, I know. I just keep her name off that stuff. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I think it's gonna be a great interview, and I hope like Cappy, Willow, you guys come with your questions because I know they're gonna be great, and I think he'll answer them all for us. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Love, love.